Hello and good evening. Good afternoon. Can you hear me okay?
Oh, yes,
Oh,
absolutely.
that's grand. That's grand. That's grand. I thought we had lost signal or lost sound.
No. You'll
How are
know
you
when
doing
that
today?
happens. God
I know.
forbid.
How are you doing today?
Very good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Running around as always, rushing around, but now I'm sitting. I'm sitting down. Thank you very much for joining in with me tonight.
Sure.
What's it like out? Oh my gosh.
You ask, you're going to see.
Lots. And what time is it with you? 1:30. 1:40 with
This
you.
is outside. It's raining right now. It's pouring. We're in the middle of a torrential rainstorm right now.
Wow. We're getting all the gales, cold, and a little bit of sun, but it's the usual Irish weather.
Yeah, this is unusual weather for California. We usually don't get these kind of heavy torrential rainstorms for days on end. I think.
Really?
Yeah.
And when it comes down, it comes down.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we're getting like 4 inches of rain over the next 3
Really?
days.
Are the dogs liking it?
No, they're actually hating it. I take them outside. My Ridgeback goes out and just says, "Okay, it's raining." My dog that's got the thicker coat goes, "What's going on here? It's raining. What is this? What is this wetness?" And keeps looking up and is flashing in his eyes. And he's going, "I hate this." And just stands there and goes, I said, "You got to take a leak." My female, she goes out, sees the conditions, takes 2 steps out of on the driveway and please looks like this and says, "Get me the fuck in the house, room."
She pauses and back in, and he just gets out quickly.
He's the opposite. He just stands there and freezes, going. And I try to drag him to where he usually pees. He's like,
yeah, he's not doing it.
He's not doing it. And usually when it's dry and there's like a river of water, puddle of water, he jumps over it.
How old is he now? He's the older one, isn't he?
He's the younger one. He's 10 years old. Reggie, come here. Ray, come here.
He's a younger one. He's 10.
He's 10 and a half now. Reg, come here. Come here.
My fire lit. It's cold here. I tell you, they'd hate to live in Ireland. Let me tell you.
All right, Ray, stop. Look.
What's he doing?
I'm going to show you him. That's
Reggie. Look at his face is getting grey.
Reggie.
With my lot.
Hello, handsome. Yes, Daddy loves you. I know you hate the rain. He is soaked to the bone right now. Oh yeah, he's wet. He is literally a wet boy. Hi, family. Yeah, he is
lovely.
Wet and not happy.
Hi, Pamela. Hi, Linda.
Hi, Linda.
Linda said, "What a cutie pie!" And it is raining in San Jose too.
It's raining in San Jose. Yeah, it's raining all up and down. Well, we need it in California.
Yeah, well, we don't need it anymore. We don't need it anymore in Ireland.
Yeah, you guys are pretty wet. Yeah,
it is. We're done with it. I mean, you can have all the seasons in one day.
Hey, fancy that! I'm wearing Irish green.
Oh, you can see. I love that top, Irish green. It's a nice jadey green.
You see what it says here?
What? Ghost host. I like that top. You have to send it over to me.
Was it this way? There we go. Ghost host.
Ghost host. Send that top over.
That's what it is. It's like a tuxedo. I mean, it's like it's like I'm entering. It's like, "Hi, welcome to the home."
Yes.
Yeah. So what am I going to wear? What am I going to wear? I'm rushing out to take the dogs right before the show, and it was like. Tie-dye? It's like, no tie-dye shirts. I said this. I said, "Oh, that's it. The ghost host."
Oh, I just throw me a ghosty t-shirt on. So, let's get started.
Hey, Stephen, how are you?
There's Mr. Woodward.
There's Mr. Woodward, of course.
God, everybody knows. Huh?
I'm just, my head's cold. Because it's wet.
I'm cold here. I have the fire lit beside me, and I have to shout for my daughter to come down and put some wood on the fire for me.
Oh God.
So everyone knows Oman House. Yes, we do.
I don't know if they do. I do.
I know. I remember doing a video call with you one night, and we were doing a wee bit of a call out. Myself and Miss Chantel.
Yes.
When we were doing that you know what to call that challenge where you have to drink water and
oh God, you two and that. My God.
That was hilarious.
That was ridiculous.
Yeah, I think I won that.
Nuts.
But we ended up Chantel ended up eating it afterwards.
Yeah.
And like monkey see, monkey do, I ate it too. So you're home. We all know what the home was before, and that house has now since been knocked down. And
Yeah.
you're home 150 feet away from it.
Yeah.
What was the first time that you experienced something in your home?
First time in the home or on the property?
On the property, maybe the property.
Well, the first time I came here, my dad called me up and said, "Go up and look at this lot." It was like flashbacks to like when I was a kid, saying, "Oh my God, I'm back up here from high school. We used to come up here." So it was just initially just like very haunting at first, like going, "This is kind of funny and interesting," not in a scary way, mind you, but as I look back on it now, I go, "God, that is kind of strange, isn't it?" Because in circumspect, from when I used to come up here to when my parents lived a couple miles away in the mountain range here in Bel Air as a kid, it's like the throw line just goes, "What the flying, huh?" I mean, it makes for a crazy movie. Honestly, it makes for a crazy feature film. You go,
yeah.
And it's the scary part is it's all true. Hi, Sarah.
Yeah. Hi, Sarah.
And as I get older and I look back on it, I go, it's just crazy. Because back in the 60s, the late 60s, where my parents lived in this house that looks eerily similar to this house that my dad designed and built. One of my neighbors was Jan Berry of Jan and Dean. And people might, again, this is history, so a lot of the younger audience might not be familiar with these people. But Jan and Dean were a duo, and were from Southern California in the late 50s, early 60s, and their music was rock and roll surf music.
Okay.
And the Beach Boys, who lived in Hermosa Beach, Manhattan Beach, were influenced by Jan and Dean. So when they did their music in the mid 60s, early to mid 60s, and throughout the 70s, 80s, etc., they were inspired by Jan and Dean. So Jan and Dean got to know Brian Wilson and Dennis Wilson and all of them, and they were mutual friends. Well, when Jan had an accident in 1966, I do believe, or 65 or 66 on Sunset Boulevard, called a spot that's called Dead Man's Curve.
Mm-hmm.
He basically crashed his Corvette and was pretty messed up. Now, he was a neighbor up the street about a quarter of a mile up from where my parents lived. And hitchhikers used to go up there to visit him 3 years after the accident. And my mom used to give them rides. Oh, I have a visitor.
Who is it?
Visitor.
Which one? Is that the little one? The little one.
Look at this.
Look at this. She's a Rhodesian mix, isn't she?
He's a Rhodesian mix, we think. Yeah. You okay? I don't know what the hell triggered that. It's kind of strange because usually he's not so, usually when I'm in the room in this office space working and I'm here and I hear a lot, obviously.
Yeah.
He's in the room. He's always staying over there. And there's a carpet there or a piece of faux fur that Fiona's sitting on. And if I look, there's enough room for him to sit over there. But for some reason, he's right here. He's right here. You okay? Reggie, what's the matter? He never does this, ever. I swear to God. Hello, Chantal. How are you?
Chantal.
Chantal.
Chantal, what are you doing? Come on in.
Can't say her name without laughing. In a good way, of course.
Chantal, come on in. She won't. She never does. She won't.
So as I was saying back, hi, Dennis. So as I was saying back to this story, so in the late 68, early 69, I remember, and mid 69, I remember my mom giving hitchhikers rides from the bottom of Bellagio Road and Sepulveda, and they were always girls.
Hi, Suzette.
Great, true, Linda. Thank you. So, hi, Suzette. So she's picking these girls up, and I'm sitting in the front seat of the car. And I'll never forget, and they get in the back seat, and there's just this weirdness. I look in their eye, look back at them, and there's this strange weirdness look in their eyes. And I don't know what it is. It's just kind of like, And I remember looking as a kid, and it just left a very, very, very distinct impression. Now, mind you, the girls were always hi, very, very polite. And I mean, it's just like, hi, my mom said, I'm Mrs. Oman. This is my son, David. And she said, I'll give you a ride up. And and as I'm thinking about this now, you in the present day, us in the present day, would never, ever, ever, ever do this ever again. Because she's given out her name. We could drive up the hills, because we lived up in the hills, and so did Jan Barry's house. And she's driving up, and she's talking all about herself. And she gets to know, like, and what are your names and this and that, and say, well, I'm going to drive you as far as my house, and then you guys can have conquered the worst part of the walk.
Oh, that's.
So then she says we got to the house, and she said, you can walk up from here. This is my house. And she pointed out the freaking house. It's like, you wouldn't do this today. You just wouldn't do this in the present day. But things were so much different back then. You got to understand. People go, oh, they were brainwashed. And it's like, yes and no. We'll get into that later. But things were different than they are today. So very different.
I just watched that on Netflix yesterday. The Hitchback, or the Hitcher, was the hiker or something like that. The one with the axe. The guy with the axe. He was like a hippie, and he had an axe. And it's like true. I watched it yesterday. It was a bit crazy. He was a hitchhiker, and he had an axe with him. And some guy picked him up, and they were doing, I think he drugged the driver or whatever, and the driver crashed into somebody purposely. And so this guy, the hitchhiker, took out his axe and started hitting him on the head to stop him from doing it. And everyone loved him. And he was on all the shows and whatnot and so on. And he just didn't turn out to be that lovely hip. It was just mad. I forget the name of it, but I watched it yesterday. The Hitchhiker.
Is it a movie, or is this a documentary?
It's a documentary.
I don't know anything about that.
Oh, it's a documentary. I watched it yesterday.
About that.
It was a bit,
but
gosh, it was a bit weird. So, what made you think that these hitchhikers, that something was with their eyes?
They just had this look in their eyes, like they weren't stoned, but they were like, I'll try to give you the look. It was like this.
I don't know. Were they human?
This sense of inward peace, like this kind of like. Okay,
now you need to get out of my car.
And it was just like, yes, Mrs. Oman. It goes, oh, it's Dave. And how are you, David? It was just like, and everything they said was I don't want to say scripted, but well rehearsed.
Were they human?
Not so much so, but as my friend Richard would later say when I was a few years older, he would say, he'd say, yes, ma'am. Yes, Mrs. Oman. Yes. He was like, he was giving that like, reassuring, like he's good. No, you can count on me. Like this projection of, don't worry, I've got it under control. I'll take care of it. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And it was ass kissing. My mom used to say, now, Richard, don't brown nose me. Don't bullshit me. I know immediately that you're giving me the lip service. You're up to shit.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying to you. There was just this way they were talking. It wasn't rehearsed in a way, bad way, but it just seemed like when I look back on that going, wow, did they know what they were doing? Because again, nobody knew the Manson family and what they were going to do. And the same for Charles Manson until after they were discovered.
Yeah. That was just crazy.
So she drives him up. She stops in front of the house and goes, this is as far as I go. This is my house.
Right. You got to walk up the rest of the
hill. She goes, this is my house. And she goes, so you girls get off. Now, Jan's is around up the street and around the corner, but it's a lot more level territory to walk up. And she parks her car, and they just get out of the car and start walking. Thank you, David. Nice, Hi, Sean. And I'm like, okay, all right. So fast forward after the murders are discovered in a couple, like 6 months later, whatever.
Yeah.
And it's not one time. There are a couple of times my mom is picking these girls up, and it's different girls. They're always, first of all, they're always girls. My mom's never picking up hitchhiking guys, but always girls.
Okay.
At the same spot. And so it's like they're always going up to Jan's house to hang out there because he had a ranch up there with horses and stuff, and he was recuperating. And what was going on was that after the murders were discovered, no hitchhikers whatsoever. Everybody in the whole area, all over the country, I was remembering, changed their patterns so that instead of being very nice to hippies, people were more standoffish and like scared and perceived, didn't know who was what. And then after people got guard dogs. So you remember when the murders took place, the very next night, the Manson family was going to go to a house down in Los Feliz. They went to the end of this cul-de-sac, and the guy had bought guard dogs. So when they went to the cul-de-sac, to the gate where the guy's house was to perpetrate the original murders, because it wasn't the La Bianca house that was targeted first.
Oh my gosh!
It was the default location they ended up going to, because the La Biancas weren't targeted. This other house was. The guy had gotten 2 German Shepherd guard dogs, or just got guard dogs there behind his gate. So when Manson got to the end of that drive, which was called Roble Vista Drive, he got down there. He couldn't, he went Roble Vista. He went down there, and they turned around because the dogs frightened him. Then they went to La Bianca house, a half a mile away. What's interesting is my parents had built a duplex, which they owned back then in 1969, that my dad built in 1957, I do believe, that was up on the hillside. It was a mountain like this. He built the structure and the duplex like this, going up. So you have to go up these stairs, going up about 30 feet till you get to the main house, the 2 houses, the duplexes. And it was literally maybe about 100 feet from where that house that he first targeted was.
That's just crazy.
That's the connection back again, the serendipity of connectivity back to me and my parents. It's like one. So back in 70, after the murders, 6 months later, when they're in trial, mid-July, I go down into the kitchen and walk down in the sliding glass doors open, going out to the patio, and I'm like. And as I'm looking out on the patio, over the railing next to the swimming pool, I see a pair of my mom's trousers or something. And I'm looking around and I see something glinting in the sun on the patio table across the swimming pool on the other side. And I go outside and look, and I see then my mom's purse is over this like bush hedge that they had on the side of that part of the house in the patio. And then I remember going outside to around the swimming pool. And mind you, I'm 6 years old, just about 7 years old. And I look down and I see on the patio table, and this is back in the day where they used to have Sara Lee coffee cake. It was chocolate coffee cake. I'll never forget. It was in a little aluminum tin about 1.5 inches, 2 inches deep. And it was about 6 by 9 inches. And there's a piece of cake cut out. And on this plate, a paper plate, is the piece of missing cake with a bite mark out of it.
That's just...
Next to that is a piece of Kraft American Singles, American cheese in cellophane.
What's he doing?
What's the matter, Reggie? What's the matter? Okay, that's squirrely.
Does he normally do that?
He was lying down there peacefully. I'm sitting here talking to you, minding my own business.
Something's going to happen.
Not something's going to. Something is happening.
It's happening.
Here. As we're talking about this, I'm stirring up something. Now he's like,
oh my God.
I have to talk to you.
Yeah, that's a Pamela energy is protecting you.
No, protecting what? Nothing to protect me against.
Yeah.
Somebody's here.
We like that somebody's there.
He's feeling the presence because why else does he? The other dog's totally incognitive and totally is out like a light. Sounds like he's out like a light. So,
but does Reggie normally do that? No. Oh, Reggie, what is going on, Reggie?
Wild, something's happening.
Oh, I like it.
So as I was saying this to you, no, he's all right. He's lying down peacefully now.
That's it, David. He's playing guard dog. That's why I asked if he had the ghost alert locks.
He's got the ghost alert, but he's not going to protect. The spirits aren't going to do anything to me. Please, they're fine. So, but they're interested in the story that I'm telling about this.
Yeah. So gather around David's table.
The American single is there now. The second, it folds and there's half missing. So when you lift it up and you take out, if they've taken out that piece, the other piece is still in the plastic. And I'm looking at this going, this is definitely a sign that somebody has been in the house.
Oh my God.
Gone through the house all the way. And you know where they've gone because they had to go to my mom's bedroom to get my mom's slacks and get her purse, which was next to her by the table on the bed, next to the bed that they were sleeping in.
So they have the slacks, you have cake missing, and then you have the cheese.
But the slacks and the purse and my dad's whatever it was trousers that are there, it's like holy shit. Somebody's giving you a sign that we've been in your house while you were asleep, and we've gone to the deepest bowels of your house while you're sleeping and pranced around and then came back outside and left you telltale signs that we've been in your house.
Wouldn't have been those.
Well, later on, we found out when you read Helter Skelter in '77 as a kid, because it was in high school, we were all reading this,
Yeah.
Found out about something called Creepy Crawl, where Manson's family used to go in commando raids into people's homes to do exactly what was done at my home and raid the refrigerator and take things and move things around to let them know that there was somebody in the house sleeping the next day.
I'd be moving. I would be moving. I'd be getting steel bars on the window. That's just, I don't know.
So my mom gets up and my dad gets up and I wake them up. I said, somebody's been in the house. It was me. Because I showed them what's going on because I didn't move anything. I'm smart enough to say, look at this shit.
Leave them
and
there.
My mom was just like, and I think my sister at the time was a counselor at one of the camps because she says, I know nothing of this. And I said, Susan, I do believe you were 15 years old. When you were 15 years old, during the summer, weren't you at camp as a counselor?
Yeah.
And I was too young to go to camp at that time because I didn't go till 72.
Oh my gosh. That's Gillian. Gillian is from the south of Ireland. Spook Troop Tours are there. And she says, there you are now. Because she always says, I'm never going at 9:30 straight away. And I'm like, I will. And I didn't. But I'm here now, Gillian. I'm here now.
Hi, Adrian. Hi, Nick.
Hi, Adrian.
So all this stuff is happening around me as a kid. And then in high school, of course, in 1978, I was illegally driving. I finally get to admit this shit.
Did you?
It's 45 years ago. What do I give a shit?
You can say it now. Who cares?
I was a little prodigal son stuck up in the hills, up in the mountain. Because literally, we're at the top of the mountain. So my friend's parents, hi, Nick. Nice to see you, too. So my parents never because we lived all the way up the mountains, it's not like you had access getting down to the city. You had to get driven.
Okay.
And our friends visit, it was a schlep, and people go, where the hell do you live? I got lost. I never heard the same story twice, but we always heard, I got lost going to your house. And I'm like, we gave you directions.
I still get lost.
Which is ironic because I hear the same shit here with GPS. Yeah, yes. It's in the middle of the street. It's like, no, you got to go up here.
Oh
So,
God.
so basically, at 15, I was driving around. I decided, my dad taught, I said, Dad, you taught Susan how to drive when she was 15, because when she was 16, she saved up money and she got her own used piece of crap car.
Oh, that's
So,
brilliant there. I didn't see you until I saw you. That's one of our sayings.
Chantal.
Where is Chantal? Chantal, get a listen. It doesn't matter if you've got your pajamas on.
You're not
I
you're not
have.
saying too much there, Chantal. How come you're not
No,
speaking very
she's
much?
quiet tonight, isn't
Why are
she?
you quiet? You usually yabbing your ass off.
She's
Right,
quiet
Shirley?
tonight.
So as
There's
I was
Miss Shirley. Hi, Shirley.
so at 18, so at 15, I'm taught how to drive, and my parents are away some weekend, visiting somebody, and I said, grab my dad's keys. And so I was driving prolifically for 6 months
That's okay.
without a license in my dad's
Oh no.
1971 Ford Country Squire. It was white. It didn't have the wood panelings, but it was an old station wagon. Had like 130,000 miles. Hard no.
Hard no, Chantal.
David, I read your book. It's a great book. Thank you, Sarah. I appreciate that.
One day,
So
one day.
I'm driving around, and we all wanted it. We all read the book Helter Skelter. And I'm going, where can we go? Where can we go? So I said, let's go up to the freaking house, the Tate House. And it was still there. And mind you, this is 1978. So it's 9 years after the merge. The house is still there.
Still there.
And we drive up the gosh darn thing with a bunch of friends of mine from high school because we all wanted to. I wanted to see it. They dogpile out of it. I didn't write this in this detail in the book about me driving, but that's how I ended up getting up there at 15. I was following it with a few cars, and I was driving the wagon station with a bunch of people. I figured I'm going to save that for a movie or something. When
I did that before. I couldn't drive. Oh my God, it was bad. It was really bad.
But there's a side note to the story. At 15 and a half, I was driving the car down the street, around the corner, literally around the corner from my home, which is statistically exactly as it is. Most car accidents happen a mile of the home, which this one did. I heard a noise coming from the radio. I looked down. I had something going on. I was distracted. And the car, because I was going straight, the car had a problem with the wheels. I just looked. And I drove it into a car, a 1971 or 72 Rolls Royce, painted turquoise blue, and it was an Iranian family that had just emigrated there. Oh God, Eric!
I think I was 3.
So I drove it into it, and I tried to get the car reversed and drive. It wasn't. The people came out of the house, dragged me out of the car, dragged me into the house. Oh, it was all hell. But back to the story. So we went up there, and the story about going up there in 78 was just like, I didn't say I drove up there, but because it wasn't important to the book. I got there. That's all that was important.
Okay, we all know that.
The life and times at Ridgemont High, and meets fierce David Oman's Day Off. David Oman's Life Off. So I'm sitting there with my friends, and the first thing I do is I walk up to the gate because I'm like looking to see, and then I stopped for a second. And I said, "Oh shit!" It like ran through my head like a lightning rod, and I said, "This is the place where 5 people were slaughtered 9 years ago." And I'm sitting here looky-looing around in mid-April 1978. So it's 8.5 years, and I'm thinking, what the am I thinking? I said, I've got to pay some respects to them. I said, Jesus, because my friends are sitting there just, you hear the cans of beer popping and the light cigarette lighters going and the joints are being passed around. And I'm thinking, I looked around at them and I said, holy shit. I said, this isn't some kind of a circus sideshow.
Yeah.
This is really, it's funny. It's like bing. And I remembered everything I read in Helter Skelter, and it's just like right across. And I said, oh my God.
What was it like?
Pardon?
What was it like inside the house?
And not inside. We were outside. What inside? We never got inside. We were always we always went up there. The gates were locked.
Yeah. Oh God.
Fence. There were always newspapers that you were just accumulating. That were just soaking wet, that had dried, wet and dry, that were just sitting there stacked up against the gate. And I mean, not one, not two, not 10, more like 30 to 40. And we would go up there every like Friday night, Saturday night, sometimes, because the weekends are the only times I could get out of the house when my parents were out of town, and I would take the car. Or go with my friends. You know, sometimes I'd go with my friends. But I mean, I went there after I got my license as well.
Yeah.
When I was 16. But the point is when I first went up there, it was just like I remember there was no light fixture. There was light fixture, but it didn't have a light bulb, and it was never lit up. And all you could see in was the driveway, this rock wall that was about 4 feet tall, as I recall, that just sat out, and then you just saw into the driveway, and that was it. But I just knew what happened behind that wall, and I just sat there and I said, Jesus Christ, this is just, I said, and that's why I bowed my head and I said, before I start to party with my friends, I want to say a prayer to those who didn't make it out here, killed here, that were slaughtered here. I said, it is in the greatest honor that I...
See you up again?
Yep.
He's not settled, is he?
Do you notice what's going on? I'm speaking of what I'm speaking of.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's almost like somebody's reacting to it.
Yeah, he just seems like he's not settled.
Something is here. Now he's fine again, but again, it's somebody's here not letting him be settled, as giving a sign, it seems like. I mean, it could be a million other things. But I'm telling you, the other dog, who's the control, is out like a light where he should be.
Yeah.
The behavior that I'm witnessing right now is completely. Right as I say that, she starts to like rustle around a little, but she's not getting up. She just moved a little.
She outside? Is she at the door?
He just raised his head and looked around just after I mentioned that about her. So. I wish I had a second camera. I could put it on him.
I know. I just want to see him.
The behavior off the bat of that is out of character. Just not.
Yeah, you know him.
Never does he ever sit here ever. It's just uncommon. 2, the fact that he keeps on getting up. He's gotten up twice, and I've pointed him out to you. What are we talking about? The subject matter is what we're talking about. I have a feeling something's stirring, and I could be wrong, but. She's rustling a little bit. She's more like just trying to get herself, she's just moving ahead and getting comfy on the faux fur. But again, he's choosing the hard wood floor versus the faux fur. So again, my point is something is a little bit askew, let us just say. Something is just strange.
She's outside the door, is she?
She's over on the floor on the faux fur carpet that I have there, right? So she's just hanging out there. So as I said, all of these things, like I said, when we went up there, and I just bowed my head. I felt like this is hallowed ground, which it was. It's nothing but hallowed ground. 5 people, one of them was pregnant, were terminated and exterminated in the most ruthless, horrific fashion.
It was just a massacre.
Fuck. And then from 1978 to 1999, 21 years later, all right, 78, 79, 80, I was here until I was in high school. In 81, when I graduated, I stopped coming. I didn't come up here. Hi, Williamson. So
Miss Mary from Netherlands.
So 1981, 82, 81, because I graduated in 81. So 81 to 1999, 1998, 17 years later, almost 18 years later, till I came back here by happenstance to see the lot, to then acquire the lot in January of 99, to build a house, to live here now going on 21 years since 2000.
Something not. Reggie. Oh, baby.
He's looking straight ahead of my desk.
I was going to say, can you see underneath your desk?
There's nothing there. He's looking under the desk. What's the matter, Reg? What's the matter? What's the matter, Reggie boy? He's very unsettled. I haven't touched him at all. As I'm talking to you the whole time, I'm not like giving him cues. I was like, Reggie, come on.
You may have he's scared. You may have a flicker.
Start behaving. Yes, exactly, Suzette. That's the whole point. I believe somebody is very much making their presence here.
Hello.
When I was here in high school, it was just like I always felt welcomed. I never felt afraid. And like I said, every time I came here.
Aye. What's he looking at?
I have no clue.
This monster. It's like we all have animals on the show.
He's been lying down the whole time, so I have no idea what this is about. What's the matter, Reg? What's the matter? There's something definitely afoot, as the old saying goes.
Time will tell.
Time is hell.
Yeah, Eric.
I have no idea what this is in regards to. I am perplexed beyond perplexed.
Because he doesn't act like that. Because I know when we're on call, he's just kind of doing his thing.
I know that many people who have visited here have described just when they coming up the driveway, and they said just feels different. Now, I have been here obviously this many years, and you know, I've gone out in the driveway sometimes, and there have been times where you'd expect to hear the sound of crickets. All right, example, summertime. There's always a flurry of crickets. You can hear click, 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 crickets, and chirping. And what's interesting is that I've gone outside and it's been silent.
Really? That's just... Is he out of it again?
Reggie, what's the matter?
No, Mary, I don't. David, do you have a bird?
No.
No, Mary said, has any of you a bird? I thought I heard a whistle.
I taught it to the hoodie pat. Tootie tat. No, that's not from here. I heard that chirp too. I was going to ask you if that's you.
No. Yeah,
well, there's many spirits. See, the thing is that as I was going to say, you know, Dr. Taff, who I still am in communication with, I spoke to him just recently this past week, said originally in 2005 that there's more than just the visit. The house is visited by more than just the Tate murder victims. A lot more, to the point where he said that due to the electromagnetic fields being so, you know, off the charts, so to speak, that some of the battery needs to be replaced. I heard that too, but I don't know where it's coming from. The house doesn't have any of those that haven't been, you know, going off. There it is.
Oh, that's my smoke alarm. That's my smoke alarm. And I still haven't changed the battery in a very long time. But that is my smoke alarm.
All right.
Normally everybody hears that smoke alarm. No, it's just... Oh, Denise. Yes, Denise. Yes, Denise. That's gone on like that for a long time. And I've never... Just can't open it up.
All right. So the David and Reggie show.
Yeah, me and my lot are here. The cat, Charlie Chaplin.
Charlie Chaplin. I saw your post about him. That was funny.
Yeah. Oh, he's just a dude. I'm telling you, he is bold in a good way. But last night when I just took pictures of him laying at the fire, it was just like, he made it. He's just chilled out. And I had to take pictures. I think I have more pictures of my animals than I do of my children. I really do have two good animals. Oh, my animals. But he was trying to get up on me there now, but he's probably going to attack my dog in a second. He's brilliant. He's just brilliant. He's a little dude. I'm going to try and get more. Hold on, Hopi.
Yeah, you probably just did. So as I was saying about the activity at night when I've gone out here, it was literally quiet as a mouse. You could drop a pin outside and you go, where the wild? Where the nightingales? Where are the crickets? What the? And it's just like
when they stop. When they stop, something's about to go down.
I mean,
That's what I see in movies when they go all quiet.
Oh, in the movies. We're not living in the movies.
I'm thinking.
But in reality, like I said, I've gone outside and just been like,
really?
Oh, it's just like, that's strange. I usually hear crickets, and then I might have heard him early in the evening, and then it just goes. And I'm like out there for like a half an hour with the dogs. I'm going, that's wild. That's really freaking wild. And we're talking summer. And it should be, nighttime. There should be crickets. And it's just dead silent up here. And it happens. And it feels thick. I mean, I've been here enough times walking down the driveway where sometimes it's just very energetic. And you go, what the hell? And in the daytimes, it's usually very, very light and just very, but sometimes.
It's like it's heavy at night.
Heavier at night sometimes. And like I said, to people that are not accustomed to the energy and come up here, it's like they'd say to me, I was walking up I said, why'd you park down the driveway at the bottom? Because I wanted to walk the walk. And I'd want.
Did they feel the feeling?
They said they start getting out, they started walking up the driveway, and so they start feeling this. I'm going.
And what were they like when we got up to you?
Telling me I'm going, and I'm always going, wow, that is so strange. I said, I guess I'm either accustomed to it or it just doesn't bother me. Scared. Yeah, I've had stuff that has startled the living shit out of me. I don't say scared because to be scared, you think of more in terms of it's not just an instant. I treat it like it's an instant. So I'm startled. Best example I can share with you would be and it's not seeing an apparition of Jay Sebring either. When I saw my first and only apparition of Jay Sebring, that was just like, okay, you're here to tell me my mom died. What's going on? Is she dead? Is it Felicia? And is it Felicia? Did she die? And I was like going, well, and he didn't do anything. He was pointing. He was turning towards the driveway, towards the driveway coming down the street. Not towards the Tate property, but away from it. Mm-hmm. And it turned out 8 years after I saw the apparition in 2004, the property next door, which was just a vacant lot, about 100 and, what was it, 100, let me see, the nice lot is 48 feet. So it's 100 feet long, double the size of my lot, and it was a hillside. Well, instead of building a house where you build your step foundation, these guys went and took out the entire mountain, like bulldozed it in the road. That eviscerated the entire mountain. So here's the hill, here's the driveway. Now there's a concrete wall 5 feet above, running all the way down 60 feet. And then at the bottom of that 60 feet is a flat concrete pad that they built this house on. So there's this 3-story house built inside this mountain that was removed.
Wow.
That's what Jay Sebring was pointing to 8 years before it was started.
Really? What was it like when you sold?
Before the lot was sold and construction was even started, meaning they sold the lot and then they started literally taking the bulldozers and working their way through the mountain and literally pulling it all out.
That's madness. And so the wall is like 60 feet down and there's a house built down there.
The wall, it goes 60 feet down. The house is built up. So your top level is here. Mm-hmm. Then your next level is like this. So unlike my house where it's built on the slope and my house goes like this, his house is built like this. And they built a flat pad of concrete that they built the house upon.
It's driving me crazy.
It was enormous. It was an enormous. enormous amount of money that they spent to just remove all of that
I can
earth.
imagine.
I have video of it. It was like one, the fuck? They're going to do what? He goes, yeah, we're going to go bulldoze all the mountain out. And then they did that. And then they built this 60-foot wall going up. It's about the wall going down under the earth is about 2 feet wide. On top of it, where the house is, it's only about a foot wide.
I thought I heard someone screaming.
It's all, and there was like 28 or 30 caissons they had to put, which are those piles first. 60-foot. It was just insane. It was unbelievable. I can't believe they did that. So back to the scariest thing. 2 incidents. The first one was most recently about 2 years ago.
I'm going to bring a friend of mine in if that's all right, Robin.
Yeah, sure.
Robin.
Walking down the hallway at 1:45 in the morning, doing some laundry, and I was going, I'm thinking to myself, spirits, I got you covered. So I throw my hand up, and I'm about 6 feet from my wrought iron staircase, and I hear this. And I stop dead in my tracks, and I go looking at the camera going, like thinking to myself, what the flying was that? Who the hell was that? And I'm thinking to myself, oh my God. And I'm thinking, well, a burglar would not be stupid to knock.
No.
I'm all by myself. The dogs and the cats in the bedroom, they're sound asleep. And I'm thinking to myself, what the flying is that? And I sat there and said, I thought like for 10 seconds, I was like startled, like standing just literally still. And then I thought to myself, well, it's got to be a ghost. And I said, wait a second, what did I just say? Spirits, I got you covered. I threw my hand up. And then I heard the knock, knock. It's acknowledgement. It's like, oh, okay, we heard you.
We heard you.
Said, I'm thinking.
That's what Louise was saying here.
Upstairs. And I continued my way upstairs. And I thought to myself, I said, you guys really got me with that. I said, you really scared the living shit out of me. I said, I don't know what the hell you were thinking, but I almost had a heart attack. And I keep going. I said, and by the way, I said, well, thank you. I go this whole thing. So if you look at the YouTube channel, I'll get you the clip for that.
I have that
video. But it's funny as all hell because I totally was like, and people said, you ever scared? It's like, I was scared for the second that it happened. And it didn't traumatize me. It was just like the freakiest thing. Because when I realized what had happened, and the knock, knock was in connection to acknowledging what I had said, I was like, whoa, you've got to be kidding me. I said, you can actually hear what I'm saying? And I said, you can hear me. I said, and I'm not saying it. I'm thinking it. That's what I said. I said, oh, shit, you can read my freaking mind? Yeah. I said, uh-oh.
That's what we try and do on locations. We have a set of questions, but we ask them in our heads, in our minds, and then we have the recorders going to see if they would answer our questions.
Right.
Yeah, so that's.
Then I'm going to jump in though because I've done the. Hello, I'm Robin. It's nice to meet you.
By the way, I'm looking on the screen thinking, where the hell do I go to add a comment? My own comment. That's a private chat. I guess
there's the main chat.
Hold on, let me check.
Right, let me do it here. Here's the link.
As far as the spirits being able to
take that link and put it out for everybody to see if they can't right now. I put it in private chat.
Oh, I have it here.
That YouTube link is the link to the video, and you can watch it. Everything I just told you on that setup is shown to you from about 8 different cameras because the house has 30 cameras inside and out. Outside, there's 4 cameras, 1 in the garage, 25 throughout the entire house. Yeah. So when that incident took place, long before I put it on YouTube, I watched every single camera shortly before and after that incident. And I found in one room right next to that area where I was standing, right before the knock, knock, you hear this breathy voice or sound go, whoosh, right next to the camera. And there's no one in the room except one cat. And it's like, what the hell was that? And then you hear the knock, knock. And I'm like, oh, my God. So watch the video and share that with everybody, please.
I'm going to see if I can get it up here. I'm going to see if I can.
Great. Robin, you were saying.
Oh, I was just going to bring up the whole controversy and, and the parent. I was on another channel before I popped over here, so I didn't hear your whole conversation, but the conversation about, well, are spirits omnipresent or not? Can they read your thoughts? But I've done experiments as well where you just think the questions and you do get answers. And so you're wondering, can they all do it? Can only some of them do it? Is it just a certain energy field that you happen to be in? Is it part of I go into are you in for lack of a better word, a vortex or a portal, where the magnetic charges are just a little bit higher or that sort of thing, just what is it that's allowing them to hear what you're thinking? How do they do it?
I'll be honest with you. Makes no difference where you are on the planet Earth. There's the only thing that's unique about this house that's different than everywhere else is there's just a higher DC EMF level here, which just means it's easier for them to manifest here and to do things. Other locations, it might be difficult. However, the idea that they can't read your mind because you're somewhere else other than here, there's the link, kids. Take a look at that video. You will be flipping out because everything I just said to you,
I can't wait.
Played out as I'm looking like Tom Cruise from Risky Business. Yourself, my God, in boxer briefs and a T-shirt walking down the hallway.
Did you?
Oh yeah, that's where it was. I wasn't dancing to any songs or anything, but that was.
Did you have your shades on you?
No, I didn't have my Ray-Bans on me, no. But the idea is that their ability to do what they do, I'll basically lay this out for everybody. My personal belief about this, that's okay. That's not, I'm not even going to do that anymore. Forget that ever again, My point is it's not a sign of anything, of any white supremacy shit. What I'm saying to you is wherever spirits are, they are not only omnipresent, there is nothing that anyone on the earth can do to stop them. There is no kryptonite. There is no lead shielding that you can put around yourself that a spirit is like going.
So you don't think a Faraday cage would work? If I stood in a Faraday cage, am I safe?
If you stood, and funny you should mention that. Barry Taft wants to come to the house because he wants to be Faraday shaped. Hi, Paulo. He wants to be. If he visits the house, he wants to be in a suit that protects him from EMF discharge, similar to what the astronauts do in space, because EMF levels actually affect him. So,
I would love to see that or see after it happened. Of course, I'd love to be there because I'm very into that style of investigation. But I'm wondering where the hell he's going to get this suit. Is it going to? Maybe he could get one of those shark suits, that kind of like.
We've talked about it extensively, and I said, look, I'm trying to get actually a 4-part docu-series about the house and the hauntings here, but on the lines of there'd be no investigation. I mean, we're not going to investigate in this 4-part docu-series. We're just going to tell the whole story. From the Native Americans here 200 years ago through the 172 years ago, all the way up to present day, but in a way that's more unique and more factually based, interesting, comprehensive, intriguing, engaging, less hyperbolic, less, oh my God, did you see that? Yeah, I saw the reaction on your face. What the hell are you looking at? I don't give a crap about your, I want to know what you're reacting to, because that's what counts. Anybody can react to something or nothing, but I want to see what it is because that's evidence, and you're just making the show.
I wonder if he could protect him. It just is floating through my mind. Maybe he could run with this if he feels like it. What about same technology as noise-canceling headphones? How about using some matching anti-frequency? Because that's how they work, So I'm just kind of curious.
It would have to be a suit made of that. As Barry says, it'd have to some type of a suit that protects him from the energies. And I said, okay. I said, but Barry, let's get this straight. If we brought you here to the house to be interviewed, we could have you in front of the house without any of that crap. And we can do all the investigations from inside the house, and you can watch through near the garage where we have a pull-down screen and a projector. And he said, yeah, I could do that. So that's what we were thinking. But it's interesting because with the 30 cameras in the house, 25 cameras in the house running, it makes it so that most of the videos you see on my channel are not during investigations.
Yeah.
They are random acts of craziness that's happening here. And nobody is here but myself, the dogs, and my 2 dogs and my 3 cats. And the idea is that the stuff that we review on this show is like, how should we say, it's for lack of a better word, I just heard it saying it's kind of it's like America's Funniest Haunted Videos. But the fact is, it's those types of things that are incidents. You're just shooting video and it's just happening. It's like I'm doing my daily routine. It's like knock, knock, or some figurine gets knocked over, or I'm not even upstairs and I hear noises and it's like, what time is it? I go back to bed. I wake up. I go review the footage, and lo and behold, there's a whole mess of activity going on the floor above me, and there's no one awake at 5 a.m. doing it. Well, alive doing it.
Oh my God.
Do your animals react to these activities or things maybe you're not even hearing or seeing? Do the animals act weird ever?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
And in some of these videos, what's happening, the cats are like going.
I've seen the video where something fell off the couch.
And the cat reacted beforehand, right?
Yes, yeah, I saw that.
The dog was
green.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the video that we have evidence of. In one case, there's a disembodied voice that's talking to a friend of mine, John Doherty. This is 4 years ago, I guess. He was moving off to Atlanta, moving to Georgia, and I had been in the kitchen with him literally less than 5 minutes earlier, talking to him. And I said to him, I said, John, I just heard a spirit voice say we're going to miss him. And I said, I got to go downstairs. I said, and then happenstance, I had to take care of something downstairs in my office. So I went here, and he's up there, and he says, I hear this voice, John, saying, David, are we alone? I just heard, is there a girl in the house? I'm going, no. I said, no, John. He goes, well, because I just heard a girl's voice say, hi, John. And then I come up the stairs. Meantime, when this is all going on, the cat, hi, Lisa. Oh, right.
Dog, he won't even go downstairs. Oh my gosh.
Reggie is sitting there. John's in the kitchen. There's the dog is sitting there looking down the stairwell when the voice is speaking. And it's like you see his head going like this, going like right out.
Oh my gosh.
The incident's happening. I'm going. That's because I reviewed the footage, and from 3 different cameras in that room, you hear the vocalization identical, and it's this different. It's at different levels, volume levels. So you're saying, where's the loudest is the closest to the voice source.
Okay.
It's always the same. It's clear as a bell. Mind you, we're not ghost hunting at this moment. He's coming here to visit, to do a little ghost investigation. We don't have one of those gosh darn ghost boxes or spirit boxes. We're not, he's just unpacking his bags at the dining room table and getting himself settled in because he just got.
Oh my God.
So it's not like I'm looking for ghosts, but it's like they're just saying, hi, John.
Welcome.
And it's like, okay.
That's really cool.
And that's what's so interesting about the videos. It's not like I have a few videos where we're pursuing an active investigation.
Yeah.
The same dog that Lisa's referring to, Reggie, which is this one, refuses to go down to the 3rd level. Mm-hmm. You can try when we go downstairs, he goes upstairs. It's almost like step for step. As I'm going downstairs, he's going upstairs.
And he's beside you right now. Reggie, has he left yet? No.
Reggie, what are you doing? You want a kiss?
Reggie has been a little unsettled tonight, Robin. He's standing up and sitting down, standing up, sitting down. It's like he's not getting comfortable.
Yeah, he's had some weirdness going on with him.
And he never lays beside. He doesn't lay beside David.
He never sits here. I mean, I've been here, many a time working, and he's usually like, "Nope, I'm not coming in. I'm not sitting there. I'm not." And he doesn't. And now he's like, you can't say enough. He's here. He wants to be close by me. It's like, okay,
yeah.
So it's interesting.
Do it on camera.
But what's really interesting is on the side staircase. This floor has the access to the side staircase to the side of the house.
Mm-hmm.
I've also tried to take him down the side staircase where I'm planning on having a backyard, building one. He will not go down to the 3rd level, so help me God.
Well, the other animals go down.
The cats will go down all the time. They go down.
Cats don't care. Cats do
Yeah,
not.
cats don't care about anything, right? They don't. But
That's why the carpet's saturated. I have to clean it up every couple of weeks with the gosh rug doctor that I own. It's terrible. It's nuts. It is really, really nuts out there. But you know what interests me is, like I said, I want to do a show like The Unexplained with William Shatner, or the other one with Lawrence Fishburne on History Channel, where we talk about the subject matter, we bring in experts that are scientists, we discuss it intellectually speaking. We don't go, ooh, ghosts are going to hurt you and all this, I'm possessed. But we talk about it. I've got footage from when Nick Roth came back in 2016.
What did he think?
That was 3 years after they shot the original Ghost Adventure show, which we got, was one of the highlights of that series, where we got lambasted. He came back because he was off Ghost Adventures and was promoting his new show, Paranormal Lockdown.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I brought in a whole camera crew and rented the equipment for that night. We shot that. And he was with what's her face?
Katrina Weinman.
And stuff was here. He was talking with Jimmy Oster in the 3rd level again about his kids, right next to this little keyboard that was there, this little Barbie keyboard that was left from the show, what was it? The DVD Blu-ray release of Poltergeist.
Oh, wow.
And the keyboard, the two of them are talking about their kids. Apropos of that, the keyboard plays on its own.
Oh, nice.
I loved that.
And Nick goes, is that usual? And Jimmy goes, well, there is a little girl spirit that we've recorded down here before. And what Jimmy's referring to is he was here during the Poltergeist DVD Blu-ray release a few years earlier. Him and his camera, they dressed that guest bedroom right next to the theater room up as Carol Ann's room. They took all of the furniture and yanked it out of there, set it up looking just like Carol Ann's room. And I smartly took some video and photographs of it. It had a little girl's single bed there. They brought in a big rug that they put on there, this huge carpet. They brought in this huge 5-foot tall teddy bear. They brought in a teacup set, a teacup table. A kid's tea table with chairs, and all this stuff that looked like that. They went so far, get this, to put a hamper with little kids' clothes in it. Then to put on the bed, like you're getting up for the morning to go to school, you're laid out your clothes for the next day, and brought in a little chest of drawers. And I'm looking at this place going,
holy crap.
Who the F's house is this? I said, I walked into another person's house because I don't have kids. And this is it was to the T's. They put the closet in the balcony with stuff going on outside of it. It was just like crazy. So, and they had this Barbie keyboard that they put on the table. People are coming up to me during their event where they brought in like 60 social media people. Hi, Jeremy. And they're saying to me, David, he goes, is that, the keyboard, it played a single note on its own in front of us. I said, what? I said, no, I know nothing of that. I have no idea if that's rigged. I said, ask the people with Sony and whoever the production, Columbia and Sony, about this. I have no idea. And they said it's playing a song. And I'm like going, and they were describing all these things happening and stuff is happening that night. And Jimmy Oster, after the show, was doing his video for JoeBlow.com's video review of the event and coverage. He's here, and it's everybody else is gone. The crew's all gone. They're going to come back the next day to clean up. There's me, Jimmy, his videographer, and his photographer. That's it. No one else in the house. Jimmy's videoing this, like I'm at the Owen house, we're wrapping up. He says, I've been at the Oman House many times, and strange things have happened here when I visited. And it's as if on cue, there's a little girl's voice that's recorded saying, "Here's one." And you hear
That's just,
and it's clearly a little girl's voice. She goes, "Here's one." And I'm like, when we reviewed it, like Jim is saying earlier when they're reviewing it, all the footage, he goes, early in the evening when he's introduced in the story, he goes, "Hi, I'm at the Oman House." And you hear a little girl's laugh, giggle, go, hee, 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 hee.
I love her. I love her.
The keyboard played. I then said, "It's Gwen." Somebody did a thing, an investigation here in between the Poltergeist event night, Poltergeist release party, and this event when we heard the voice with Nick and the keyboard, and they said there's a little girl. We researched it. We found out there's a little girl, 8, 9 years old, named Gwendolyn, who died in a car accident in the late 30s in the area, and this and that. And her spirit stays here. And I was dumbstruck.
You know her name, Gwendolyn.
Well, they kept saying it was. They thought it was Gwendolyn. I said, "Okay, I'll bite. Let's go with the name Gwendolyn. Better than saying little girl goes.
Yeah, I agree.
It's disrespectful. So if you say Gwendolyn, you're hopefully identifying it with that person, and she accepts it, and doesn't mind it. I don't know, but it's the strangest thing. So Nick was here. We had footage from that whole event that he was here that whole night. Discovery at the time said they wouldn't allow me to release it and to license it because he was under contract with Discovery. And because he was under contract with Discovery, they wanted me to basically guarantee what network, how it would be used, and otherwise I was basically left with nothing. So then when Nick left Discovery, that all went out the window, and Nick said, "I'll license it for you, sweat, So this is footage that would be in the show as well, which would be fascinating. Because
he should come back for his show, Death Walker. He should come back with Death Walker, the new show.
Bring Death Walker
back. Bring him and Dan Kleiss over there. They'll get it
after I get the docuseries first. This is the book, Ghost of Cielo Drive. Yes, it's an unabashed plug for Ghost of Cielo Drive. Get your signed copy, ghostofcielodrive.com. Exactly. I will sign it to you. If you want it personally inscribed, because usually I just say, David Oman, keep it spooky. That's if you want a personal inscription, you can write it. That's $5 extra. Yeah, big deal. Whatever you want, I write it. And I did write one for somebody that she wanted something that I generally wouldn't put out in writing, but I did.
Really? Can you tell us?
Oh, come on. You can't
she has, because it's one book. As long as that personal inscription that she asked for is in there, no one else in hell needs to know.
That's true. That's true.
I'm going to order a book.
Not sorry.
I'm going to order a book and see what I'll PM you what I want written in it.
But like I said, it's interesting because I think that type of a show, and we're going to pitch it to a major network because cable is what it is. But I want to pitch it to a major network first because I think that would be a good idea. And what's interesting is that it's something more than the what's being given the audience now. And I think it's high time and more interesting than just, and again, it's a story-based show. So with all of the evidence I already have accumulated, we're not going to go into a rabbit hole of going to do a ghost hunt in this 4-part documentary because why do I need to prove what I already have proven?
Oh, I don't think anybody has doubts about it. I really don't.
I want to show them footage that's never been seen before because it's on my YouTube channel. I've got stuff thank you, Sarah, that's there that nobody's seen before. And it's like, I found we have footage, and it's not found footage. It's footage that I shot back in 2004 on the 9th of August. And also on the 30th of August. So the anniversary and 3 weeks after the anniversary. That's pretty crazy. The anniversary footage is interesting. I have video and film footage. But on the 30th, I went one step further because of how it went on the 9th. And I wasn't pleased with how it went. I was good on the 9th, but I said this time, here's the difference. On the 9th, everybody knew where they were going. Rob Radowski and his wife came in One person who was left out in the cold was the psychic who came in and didn't know anything about the location. We kept her in the dark. But the other people were all basically involved knew. Here's the story. Because Rob knew, I got the sense that he knows everything going in, which is fine. But what if you bring somebody in the dark? And that's why Alma, when this came about, because when Alma came into the house, she was the famous psychic, and God rest her soul, Alma died it'll be in March, it'll be a year now since she passed at the age of 80. Wow. But the story goes like this. Alma came to the house at about 5 o'clock. Rob was here at 4:30, so Rob and I were getting things set up. Rob and I and his wife were outside talking, and Alma came in, and I introduced myself. She said, "Can I do anything?" He said, "No, you can, if you want, just take a load off and have a seat." So I had her sitting at the dining room table, and Rob and I were back outside talking, trying to get logistics set up. And his wife was outside in the car getting something out of there. I come back inside, and Alma says, "Well, I just saw your girlfriend." And I have this kind of look on my face, like one. Okay. And I said, "She's not." I said, "Okay." And so Alma goes on to tell me that she saw this girl come from the den around the bar counter, turn and look at her turn to her left. The girl turned to her left and looked at Alma, and we made eye contact, and she smiled. Alma was sitting about maybe 20 feet away, 15, 20 feet away, from there at the dining room table in the dining room chair, in a dining chair, sitting and turning like this to her right, looking at her. She walks around the counter, turns and looks, smiles, walks towards the staircase and walks down the staircase. And she said the girl acted like as if she looked. She said she acted like she lived there. She said she had described her as having blonde hair, blondish brown, not hot blonde, but a blondish brown hair, golden colored hair down her back. She said all she could see is that it gathered around, that it looked like it was longer than shoulder length because it gathered. It looked like she was wearing a white sundress. It had bare legs, had shapely legs, and was about 5'6", 5'7", and
I wonder who that could be.
Just as you and I looking now on the video screen, I was just like,
really?
And so my girlfriend, who was 5'11", 6 foot tall, has chestnut brown hair, has long, straight chestnut brown hair that's down her back, middle of the back. She doesn't believe in ghosts. She is not here. She doesn't want to be here tonight for this, and that was not her. So I grabbed Rob, and we ran through the entire freaking house looking for said blonde-haired girl or said blonde-haired girlfriend.
Oh, nothing.
The doors were all locked from the inside, dead bolts and everything. Mind you, there's only 3 access points in this house. 4. No, 3. First floor is the entrance, second floor side staircase door, third floor side staircase door. Nothing else. And of course, you could jump off the balconies and drop down 40 or 60 feet, 40, 50 or 60 feet.
Yeah, unless she's a parkour master. But let me say, it's interesting that she's
parkour. My ass, parachute master, more like it.
I could barely trip over a crack in the sidewalk, and I screamed.
And there wasn't a rope leading down. It wasn't like a connect.
I think it's interesting that the psychic calls her your girlfriend. Is that interesting to you at all? Like she saw a person and a female, and it's curious looking.
Never been here. She never knew who she was.
But then she said your girlfriend. So does that mean there's some sort of an attachment there? Psychic, I can't speak for the psychic. I'm wondering why.
Remember, Alma's first visit to the house. She comes in, doesn't know me from Adam. Sees this girl, walks around, and just goes down the stairs. Thinks it's assumes it's my girlfriend.
But she's an intuitive, so. I just wonder.
She's not like do. She's not doing like the radar scan. I mean, I'm intuitive, but sometimes you get it and sometimes you don't. But she described this girl as coming from the den, and again, not just poof, I'm here, like Jay Sebring did in 2004. So
I understand. It's just
walks, and remember, here's the key to that. I saw Jay's spirit in mid-July, July 15th, 18th. I don't remember the exact date. I'm not looking in the book because I have it in the book. I think it was like July 18th. It was like a week before my birthday. My mom was dying of pancreatic cancer. My girlfriend was in Europe flying the European route for American Airlines. So I thought when I saw this apparition manifest in front of my bed, in the corner of my bed, doing this, pointing towards the corner, towards the property, I thought it was going down towards the driveway. I thought he was there to say, hey, your mom just died of pancreatic cancer, because my godfather, years earlier had lived next door to my parents and described his visage of seeing this apparition in front of his bed in the middle of the night. And then he thought immediately of his aunt. And then knew that she was dead, went back to bed. And the next morning he got a call from his cousin and said, Aunt such and such. And he goes, Aunt such and such died? I know. And he goes, how do you know Aunt such and such died? I didn't even finish my sentence. And he goes, I know. I was told. And he goes, and thought of what he's seen earlier in the evening, earlier in the morning that night. So, yeah, Denise Jordan was out here. The hairs for, that was on Fight Club. They put that on the Fight Club episode I was on last year. So, yeah, that was true.
Wow.
So
I got full body chills when you were telling that story. It just really resonated, and it feels so correct.
Like I said, I've never been afraid of the spirits because I've been shown nothing to leads me to be afraid.
Yeah.
Every gosh darn chance they can get, they love to.
There's a difference. That's right.
You never get anybody in your house.
Reaction on me going like, it's like, because my mom says if you don't react, people won't tweak you. It's like, yeah, sure, Mom. This woman just take it like a duck and let the water roll over your back. I'm going,
great advice. Great advice.
It's like, yeah, we got you. It's like, yeah, okay, you got me. All right, fine.
And you never ever, David, you never ever had any spirit like, when you're investigating, anyone tell you to F off, like I've had it done many times.
I've had spirits say fuck you and stuff to other people and stuff here.
Oh, I've had it said to me.
We've recorded on the cameras here. See, there's one of the cameras right there. That's one of them.
Yeah.
So
everyone waved to David's camera. Everyone waved to David's camera, so when he looks back at it, he sees all of us waving. But you never got.
Well, because I've been in this room where I was reviewing some footage. Wasn't reviewing footage. I was reviewing some karaoke that I was doing, but to loosen myself up for an investigation that's being held here. And I'm watching the footage. I'm like, I gotta watch it again. And you hear this voice say, "Effing pricks." Wow. And it came from that camera. I said, so I said, okay. So I watched it in review, and I said, okay, I heard you say "effing pricks." You didn't say "effing prick." I said you said "effing pricks." So who are you referring to? You're right in that. And again, there's no spirit box. There's no echo box.
Right. So it's just like audio.
Just yes. This is anything that I'm telling you. When I say disembodied voice, it is not an EVP because there's no voice intermediary device because it's usually a Frank's box, a spirit box, an echo box. I don't even know the box, whatever the box.
I had that here in my house, a DVP.
Black box, the blue box. Who gives a shit? No offense, I'm not a fan. Because
they're okay. We do sometimes, they're not all the time.
But people don't think about the CCTVs as great capturing devices except for video, and they do audio. And I tell people, I got 10 cameras. They've all recorded for 10 plus hours, and I listen to every bit of it because they'll have whole conversations in front of the camera. Listen, the last time I watched people sleep for 8 freaking hours in their bed and all the things people do in their sleep, I was
Chantal.
like, never again.
This cat is acting up tonight. He's going wild.
Chantal. Chantal.
Get your behind it.
Where are you, Chantal?
This is how people read your mind because you're like,
yes.
I had a DVP in my house one night because I was Billy Big Balls and I was sitting up one night having a G&T and there was nobody in the house and I said, let's take a recorder. My recorders are always on the table because I knew there was somebody in my house. I'd heard my daughter her t-shirt had been pulled. My daughter saw something in my room. And so they weren't here one night and I did an audio set, like I said, Billy Big Balls with a few gin and tonics. So I went with the recorder on and I said, I know you're here. I know you're here. We've heard glasses break and there was nobody in the kitchen and yada, yada, yada. Then you'll hear Jenny. And I have it on audio and I still have it. And then you'll hear me saying, and I'm stuttering at this stage. Did you? And it wasn't to Jen. I said, did you say something? Did you try and say something to me? But, oh no, the cat's arse on the camera. But I have it on audio and I had it on DVP just to show I heard it in real time. And it was just in this living room. And I heard it in real time. And I was doing a live one night with Howard. And we were all talking away. And then everyone's having a laugh and a joke. And then you'll see my face smiling. And then all of a sudden you see me going. And I wanted to say, because when I look back in the video footage, you'll hear static coming through my microphone, and then you'll hear Jenny.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
sometimes
but he never gives me his name. Never gives me.
You're not happy? God,
I love it. I love it.
Happy. It's not enough. You want more.
I think it's great. I love it.
I wish I was recording the other night. I told you, I think something, I always have a little bit of activity here and there here in this house because it's so old. But my husband, who does not want to participate in any of this shit, okay, we're laying in bed and right between our heads, like that loud. I mean, it's really long. And he goes, what the was that? And he goes, maybe it was the neighbor. I was like, if the neighbor's sleeping between us, it was the neighbor. That would be weirder than what we just heard. But okay. But yeah, like there's something lately going on. I don't know if I brought something home with me or if it's just a moment of activity. But it's so much fun. Of course,
Well, Jenny, you're going to hear Jenny change her effing smoke alarm. That's been going like that, David, for like 3 years.
That's the Chantal I know and love. When the hell are you getting out here, damn it? When?
She just left me. We had so much fun that weekend. We had so much. I don't think I ever. Did you say piss off? I don't think I ever laughed so much when Chantal was here, and I needed that laugh. I needed it badly because I had a crappy week when my dog had passed away, and Chantal and fabulous granddad Tim came over, and I tell you, we laughed like when I first met Chantal. She got out of the car, and I said, "You could first take those heels off you," because she was like 10 foot. And I'm like, oh Jesus.
Yes, we'll slap tortillas. I promise you.
Yeah. I still watch
didn't say we'll be dressed in slap tortillas.
We ended up eating them after it because when you drink the water, Robin, and then you have to slap each other with tortillas.
Yes.
I tell you, I won't even tell you the plot of the man.
Whack.
Chantal said she never had as much wine as she did that weekend with me. Like, I'm a bad influence. When you come to Ireland, you gotta.
By the way, Jenny.
Yes.
You made a statement that kind of, I heard it like a laughter after you said it. You said there's somebody in your house at that moment, right?
Yes.
It's just like they're here right now. They cracked up and said, "Tell her to shut the hell up." She has no clue. They're always there. Your house is.
Oh, the Lord Jesus! As long as they're not in my bedroom or my second drawer,
your bedroom, your bathroom, your sink, they're everywhere.
Well, not in. I tell you, but did he laugh and say he's here? Because I know who it is. I think I know who it is. It could be an attachment. It could be someone.
I heard a collective bunch of spirits say she thinks that was the only time. That was like one time we're there. He goes, "We're always here."
Can you see my hair standing on my head?
Yeah, they said they're always here. What are you kidding?
I don't mind.
Like, they're here. It's like spirits occupy the same space we occupy on another dimension, 24/7.
I don't mind. I find them company here. I find them company
everywhere.
Well, yeah, I had a funny in the room I'm sitting in. It was funny. I came in here, and whatever reason I was recording, and the woman goes, "Ugh, I'm in here." Like she was just like, "God, again, you with this dog."
It's more like this that the show Ghosts is a lot more close to reality than we want to believe.
Right. I can only imagine that if I'm haunting, I'm going to be the same person I am now. Oh my God. I feel sorry for whoever buys this house next.
And it's a sense that they sometimes feel put off that you're in their home that they lived in and they still think they live there. And they're like, I'm back visiting my old home. And what the hell happened to this place? And Beetlejuice, in a sense, is almost got that same type of a thing. I feel too. It's like, well, I got to get along with these assholes that moved in and destroy what I love. What the hell's, give me a break. But it applies not to just places they lived, places they worked, places they loved, not specifically places people died. That's a policy and a misnomer. Not every place is good. Well, this person died here tragically. They're going to. It's like not necessarily.
I've spent 20 years working on that because I wanted to prove that that's not true. And unfortunately, in 97, my oldest brother was murdered. And there was someone who said, well, too bad he's going to be stuck there for eternity. And I was like, what the are you saying? And I was like, first of all, that's rude as hell that you would say that to me. And like, anyway, a lot of things. But that's really one of the catalysts that got me doing my thing. And where I am today. And I am certain that that is not true. I think there could be confusion and some anger, but not a stuck. I'm stuck.
What's happening?
She just got up and is like shaking around. And I guess, Fee, what are you up to? Lie down. No, she just don't dig it. It's not dirt and it's not ground. Just lie down, sweetheart. Come on. There you go. Curl up. You're disturbing Reggie now. Now he's trying to move. It was peace and quiet. She's trying to circle around 5 more times and she'll plop down.
Yeah, she's making her bed.
It's nothing that. Still thinking of the weird.
I'm just looking at Pamela saying, still thinking about the weird silence you experienced outside that one night. Had that happened to me once at a sacred Native American site here in Minnesota.
The silence, wow. Like no crickets, nothing, or what do you mean?
No, it's just dead silence. Like I've gone out there a few times and just gone like, all right, where the hell? What's going on? And it's just devoid of any sounds in the middle of the night. Oh, it happens up here. And I'm in the middle of nature, where we've got coyotes, deer, bobcat, mountain lions, other animals, and it's usually really loud in the middle of the night when you're hearing all this, the crickets chirping, going, what the fuck?
Things only get quiet like that when there's a bigger predator around.
That's what I said.
What bigger predator is crickets? The whole area. I mean, it's dead quiet. And I live in a canyon, so you'd hear it on the left or the right.
Yeah,
it's just weird. It's just.
I've seen that. I was telling David, I've seen that in movies. When the crickets stop chirping, kind of get into your place. So
But it's like I said, it's a very unique dynamic because I think that because I have such deep respect for people say you explain the murders. It's like people go hunting graveyards really don't think spirits around there. Well, the reason why graveyards are haunted is this. Not because the dead are buried there, but because the dead are buried there that left the interest of those who are alive that kept on revisiting their dead friends who had fallen and were buried there. The living that had then perpetually gone there to the grave sites and visited, those are more likely the spirits you're going to find at a graveyard than a place. Well, yeah, the predator, yeah, but what predators? Why is a spirit is a spirit eating crickets in a?
No, but all these animals see in different spectrums than we do, an additional and sometimes less of the spectrum than we do. And I feel like that there's a possibility that they see it or that they can just feel the energy. Like when you walk in a room and you can feel the energy. And so like something is appearing that their instinct is to get quiet and get as small as possible so they're not the one getting eaten. And I
think that's why I keep going back to the predator. I don't think that the crickets are doing it out of fear of being eaten.
They just get quiet.
I think it's just more out of like respect or like saying the spirit's like you're present, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Right. I can't say they're motivated, but they get quiet because of a presence.
Yeah, whatever their motivation. Just out of respect, out of like they asked us that we see their presence and their energy, and their energy is forcing us to diminish our energy.
The thing is, we don't have crickets here in Ireland. Oh, we do, but not as many as what you guys would have.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have that many. So at nighttime, it's silence here. We wouldn't have them chirping here at nighttime. We don't have that many to chirp here at nighttime, unfortunately, because I like it.
It's fortunate. If you've ever been on a year of the horde of crickets, if you've ever lived, like I don't know what California is like, but I know Texas has a few years apart. There'll be a horde, and they're everywhere, and you have to step on them, and they're jumping on you, and it's disgusting. And they
we don't have nothing.
Oh my God!
No swarms of locusts. But again, and here's the difference: this is one night out of a whole week or a couple of months that you'll hear this, and it'll just go quiet. So
yeah,
all right, I heard it last night, and I heard it the next night going, all right, I'm out now. Said, son of a bitch, I said, they're back again. It's like, All right, this is the next day. It's like, so it's not like we're having an infestation or something like that.
Okay, this brings me back to the guy who wants to wear the suit to keep and stand in the garage and all this. Gwendolyn's coming in from outside. Something's walking around out there making all the crickets and animals be quiet. Why does he think standing in the garage is going to protect him?
Not in the garage, outside the house, outside the main structure. He thinks it's okay on the outside of the house. So I said, look, we'll have you on the driveway looking into the garage. We have the screen, and you'll be able to watch what's going on.
I say dangle him from a harness off of one of the balconies. Just have him dangling.
Yeah, your trigger object.
Nobody's seen that on
a trigger object. They start batting the guy, and the guys start harness.
Like, you talk about the human pendulum, right?
It's like a piñata, get the stick.
Back and forth for no.
But like I said, back to this thing about the graveyards. Here's an example of a very, very famous haunting that happened literally around the corner from me in Westwood Cemetery. Rudolph Valentino was buried in 1926-27. There was a woman at his grave that went to the gravesite and visited him every year on the anniversary of his death, dressed in red with a red rose, would always place a red rose on his grave marker on the anniversary of his death. It's called the Lady in Red or Lady in Black. I think it's Lady in Black.
And black and she red rose.
Not red. I'm thinking of the freaking movie, getting the two mixed up.
Yeah.
So after she died, reports were of sightings of a lady in black on the anniversary of the murders. The anniversary of his death. Yeah. Of this apparition of this woman in the same outfit walking up to the gravesite and placing a red rose at his tomb, and then walking away and fading into mist. On the anniversary of his murder, they reported that every single year for a number of years.
Wow,
that makes sense because she was doing that in perpetuity after she was doing it in life.
Yeah,
that made sense. But the idea that somebody, as Barry Taff had said to me years ago, said, the idea that a graveyard is haunted is almost the most ridiculous thing you could come up with. I said, why? Because it's a repository for the human remains, the body. Once you die and your body and your soul disparts, your body goes one place, your soul goes off into the earth.
Everybody seems to say, like in near-death experiences, that they're like, that thing down there, oh, that's me, whatever. But I have gotten EVPs and stuff like that there, but I don't think they're there all the time. Like I flippantly stopped at a roadside, not flippantly stopped. I flippantly said, gee, I wonder where this guy is. And I read his name off there and immediately got an EVP. He goes, well, you found me. But I don't think he was hanging out there all the time. Right. But my first EVPs in this field, the first ones I got were at a cemetery in Waco, Texas, of all places. But they were hostile. Oh my God, they were so hostile. It was all filth, just names, you whore, bitch.
You went on your own.
Like everything, like I'll kill you, like all this stuff. And a really, really country guy, he said, y'all should burn. When he had the Texas accent. Exactly. I was hooked. But it was at a cemetery of all places, But I still don't think they're just hanging out. Please let us not be hanging out at cemeteries when we die. What a terrible,
what a way. Watching
terrible ending to the story. It's like, well, thanks.
That's just a big dick and attitude. I can't do that. Can't even say the accent.
I thought he had like a big mustache or something.
No.
Like, don't worry, we'll burn. That's okay.
I think Amory's saying, I think once we have no meat bodysuit, we can be anywhere at the same time. Is that possible?
Well, I don't know about that splitting up of multi-dimensional personalities. Right? You're going to be here. You're going to be here. No, I think that the spirit is intact and it goes to different places where it wants to. It's not bound by the location where you died or the location you lived. It travels around. That's what people say. Why the hell is Sharon Tate's spirit visiting your house? Why isn't she not on her property? Lisa Williams, the English psychic, came here a number of years ago, 2006, to visit. And she came in and she said, came in, walked in, stood and looked in my bar. And she goes, do you know there's a big party at your bar? And I'm like, no residual. I don't believe in residual, sweetheart. That's just nonsense, Chantal. Get your ass out here and tell us in person. So as I was saying, the idea was that what was I just saying?
If it was residual, I think she would have had to been in that actual house. Like, if it's residual, you don't go to a new build and hang out there and interact. And that way you go through doorways you can't see and stuff like that. That's different.
That's different. But what Lisa said, that's not even residual. They're going back to their old haunts to see the house, and they're walking through a wall because that's now a wall, but it used to be a
door.
A hallway going to another part of the house. Yeah. That's what I was saying, though.
I see this here. Sorry, what Anne-Marie's saying. Me and both sisters have visited at the same time in different states. I'm going to say I think that's. I've heard of it before. With
different times, not the same exact.
Moment. Different. Same time in different states.
Different, not the exact same moment.
But time may work. But time may work differently.
Different times. Meaning that they came here, they went to these places in rapid succession to let you know that she's died. She's not just going, all right, I'm going to spread it out to 1,000 people. She's not Santa Claus.
That's what I'm trying to do, and I'm alive.
Santa Claus goes to one place at a time. Same thing. You can't be in multiple places at the same time saying, I'm sending out a broadcast to everybody I know that I'm dead. It doesn't work like that. That's spirit will go to that location, go to the next person, say,
go live at 3, 2.
Yeah, she'd be there at 1:51:52. She'd be at your house at 1:51:54. 2 seconds later,
and it'll seem
not the same second.
Not the same. Yeah,
that's my perception. Understanding what I've seen, it makes no sense. But the idea is that they're not bound to the location, meaning that Sharon's spirit didn't. Lisa said that she's here, and she says she doesn't like the house where she used to live. It's not there anymore. She doesn't like the new house. She was attracted to David's house. She likes the energy here better. So she visits here because it's more accustomed to some place that she feels comfortable with.
And your lifestyle and the feeling, it's like having a friend, perhaps, that's just like, I can relax here.
That she feels safe is what Lisa Williams. And this is nothing I'm making up. This is in an article that she wrote in 2009. 2009, there was an article about it in the 40th anniversary of the murders in the Sunday Daily Express in the UK, where she says this whole quote. So all I'm saying is reiterating what she said, and that's why Sharon's spirit likes to be here, and she likes Dave, and she likes being around the house. She feels comfortable here, and we're going, well, thank you, I appreciate it. And people say, aren't you afraid? It's like, why would I be afraid if I know that we're all going to pass away at some point? And the idea that there's spirits on the other side that supposedly like me, why would I sit there and say, get out of my house and leave here? I want you out of here. So when I get to the they're going to go, hey, there's that son of a bitch, David. That stupid son of a goddamn. Oh, we're going to make him pay. He's going to pay royally for eternity. I'm thinking, gee, I'll spend maybe 100 years on this plane of existence, but eternity is how many more years than that?
Right.
Therefore, I'm not going to piss them off. So when I get to the party, they're going to be like, hey, David, thank you so much. We really appreciate you letting me.
That's a good bloody way of thinking about it. That's a really good way. Because people said to me before, you're not a freak dead to somebody in your house and whatever. And I'm like, no, they haven't bothered me. They haven't. I find them, and I said it before. I was at one point I began to feel like it was too much, and then I'm like, because nothing's happened in a long time. Nothing has happened in a long time, but I find them, and I know it's going to sound like I talk out of myself, but I find them company. Yes. I could be sitting here in the dark watching a movie, and normally I'd be like, oh Jesus, no, and I'm kind of like, it's okay. Just put the kettle on for my coffee in the morning before I get up. Would be helpful so much. And can you put the heating on for me because it's bloody cold?
Exactly.
Earn your keep.
I'll go into places and I'll go the same places that I go over and over and I'll go, it's me, your good friend. I'm back. And I'm sure, oh my God, she's back. Here she goes.
Yeah, when you walk into locations like
Jesus Christ.
I know. Well, that's it. I do repetitive.
Why are you coming back? Didn't you get enough the first 10 times you've been here?
No.
They know.
New, are you?
I know there's one time, like when I always say, I always go to my locations repetitively for the same location for the last 6, 5, 4, 3 years. I've been going back to the same location because I always say, not all history is written in books. And let me tell you, the stuff we're getting that you won't know about on these locations I go to are just phenomenal. And you kind of build a rapport with them. And you kind of
the inside story of what the personal lives were like, which history
100%.
History's about broad strokes, not about the fine details and minutia of daily life.
Yeah, that's the.
And then when you walk in and you have the recorder going, and I'm like, hi, because you always walk into every location and say hi. I do. And then when we listen back to the audio, one location, the Drogheda Museum, Millmount, it's in my town. It's 5 minutes away from me. I used to go there as a child on school tours. Little did I know I would be researching the building for the last 6 years. So when I go in and I said, hi, Jenny, hope you it's okay that we're here tonight, yada, yada, yada. And then you'd hear a female saying something like, there she is, or here she is. Here's Jenny. And that's okay. Now, most of them, oh my gosh, if you could hear half the audio, I'd love to send it on to you, to hear half the audio that we have gotten with the ITC from phone to phone, from one room to another room, on speaker with a recorder in the room. You're about 2-3 floors up away from that room. I mean, wow.
Try this, I'm being told, for your ITC. Simplify, keep it simple, make it less engaged, less layers, meaning for a skeptic, again, I apply myself as a skeptic, saying, what would a skeptic do and want in a situation? And it's like, all right, so when I do EVP sessions, and I've done them here before with Chris Fleming, I said to him, I said, put the recorder down. Yeah, let's not get that. We're not, none of that shit. We're not going that road. I have plenty of those stories of my own. I don't want to, I have decorum and respect for the dead. Like I said, you put the digital recorder down, you ask a question. You've got a camera videotaping this series of events. I'll get to that question as soon as we're done with this, Anne Marie.
Yeah.
And I said, ask a question. Let it play, give it 30 seconds, a minute, stop, review the footage right there and then on the spot. That way, you ask the question, you don't, and there's no EVP machines, whatever. It's just the recorder, and he's asking, you're recording, and you play it back and you watch.
Playback.
Because
we do that
to engage into any device that's electronic, and I call it an intermediary electronic device. You're playing with not an actual vocalization of a spirit. You're hearing a radio transmission or whatever it is. What I'm talking about, when we're capturing on these little cameras and the voices that we're hearing, that's the spirit speaking. There can't be no question, because I'm here alone and the televisions aren't on unless the spirits are turning them on. That's what I said. If you get it on a regular digital recorder and you can watch right back in front of you and go, okay, you're not waiting for later in the evening to go, oh, let's review all these hours of footage. First, your concentration level is about this after the first 2 minutes. I don't care who the hell you are.
Yeah.
That's why I do not spend hours upon hours like I did 8 years ago when we got the equipment in the house, and I was sitting there from like 2:30, 3 in the morning to 7 in the morning, raging over footage and going, oh my God, I can't stand it. I'm burnt.
I do that all the time. Like I am all about the audio. My recorder's on the counter. I'll be doing audio after this. Audio. I love it.
Yeah. It's a lot easier to disprove devices and the spirit, all that crap any time of the day, and including the cell phone, because you're still picking up radio transmissions. And again, even if it is a spirit, you're hearing. You're only hearing what the content that you think he's saying. You're not hearing his actual voice. The effing Prince one on that was him speaking. I'm not looking for them. I'm just, all right, let's watch this. You mean I got to watch this damn video? It didn't start? Oh, crap. And then him saying, fucking pricks. And I'm like, and the characteristics of the acoustic signatures are almost always identical, of a man's voice or a woman's voice. Very breathy, just like on top of saying fucking pricks. And it's like going, turn up the volume. And it's not like wah 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 wah. It's like, what the hell was that? Well, I heard this. No, I heard this. It's consistent. Everybody can say, I heard that goddamn voice. I heard the vocals. I heard the words. Some people hear differently on their cell phones, but everybody on a laptop or a regular, like I'm working on a regular desktop computer, you hear the same vocalization going, holy crap.
Yes.
Now, shadow people, for Anne Marie, just to answer. My opinion is you see shadow people out of the corner of your eye usually. And that's what I see them zoom by. My interpretation is they are no different than any other spirit you see. Meaning, people have, it's a demon, it's in darkness. It's like,
no, don't. I
it's
know.
just that spirit can't get any more energy output, so to speak. Kind of like if you remember the movie Ghost. You have to use all your focus, all your energy, his mentor, spirit said, into one little spot and make that explosion of energy outward. The same thing when a spirit has to manifest. It's very difficult for them to make an apparition manifestation. It's a lot of energy.
I think
I believe.
Their ability and our ability to see whatever the matter is and that they're manifesting may not be, once again, in our visual spectrum, but I have seen one face on and ran after it, and it was like, oh. I was like, ha, scared the spirit, but scared the shadow first. But I completely agree. Now, I have this house is really old, and there's a second set of windows outside of my kitchen windows. And one night I said to my husband, I said, look, stand right behind me the way the lights were. I said, the first window, I look like this. I said, and then look at the second windows, and they're storm windows. I said, by the time you get to that third layer, it looks like I have no eyes and no mouth, like, like you see scary pictures and all that. Yeah. I said, I want to talk about layers of dimensions and the way they're manifesting in the way they can versus what we see. And I'm going to, for lack of a better word, I'm going to call it the atmosphere of the dimensions. Right. That's why they look scary. That's why they look like a shadow person. That's why you're only seeing their legs or their head or their arm, because there are layers that we don't know about. And frankly, and I think it's dark matter, and we don't know shit about dark matter. 2/3 of the universe or more is dark matter. All we know about is neutrinos, and there's all this other stuff. They could be utilizing that. We have no way of knowing or seeing or that sort of thing. So what I'm saying, when you see something really scary, it had no face. Yeah, it probably did have a face. You just
didn't see it.
Well, that's what I was
because it's either sucking up the light or it cannot manifest well enough to show you to reflect light.
When I was up in the north of Ireland and I was doing this location when I started off in the paranormal field, and I was doing this same location every single month for 6 years consecutively. So I was laid up one night with a friend of mine. The rest were down underneath the tunnels, and we were sitting outside, and the light was on outside, and it was about 11 o'clock at night. And we were sitting in the car, and I had seen someone walking from the right to the left, and it was solid black. Like you could see the side of the head, the nose feature, the chin.
Silhouette.
Yes, a silhouette down to the waist. And it just walked by, and I'm like, the fuck? And I said nothing to my friend because I wanted to rationalize it in my head.
Right.
5 seconds later or less, she said to me, oh my God, did you just see that? And I said to her, go, what did you see? And she goes, I seen a waist and legs walking by. And I seen the top half, but the key in the ignition.
One person saw one half, the other person saw, meaning that it's about, it's again, goes back to what Robin was saying. Yep. It's about what you can perceive.
Yeah. And it's
that's
all
what it is.
Right? Our brains are electric, our eyes are electric, they're electric, it's all.
But no. Each person is tuned differently. That's why one person sees this, some person sees this.
Yes.
Yeah.
One like Pamela's question about the house. What's the funniest thing that's ever happened?
Oh yes, Pamela.
I don't know if it's the funniest thing that you people will all find amusing, but I was quite amused when a girlfriend of mine back in 2005 who was with me. She was a makeup artist, and we were in the evening time, right before we went to bed, we had an argument. We didn't have an argument. We had a discussion. And something one remark that she had said to me that I wasn't keen about. And I said, there's always a time in a relationship. And I said this to my friends, when I always know my relationship with this individual is over. And I said, at that moment, I just am resigned to accepting that that's it. It's done. We're finished. And even though they will eventually break up with me, I know the moment that the line has been crossed and that this is it. It's just a matter of because I'm too big of a pussy when it comes to breaking up. I don't want to hurt them. And
let the other do it.
So I said, I couldn't say I got dumped on than being the dumper. I just don't have the capacity to do that. No matter until it's really bad. And when it's really bad, it's like, all right, this is enough. But I remember that I said, I thought to myself when after this comment, I said, that's it. This is it. And I went to bed, and this is all in my book. I put my arms on my chest, folded them, and I thought to myself, I am now in repose, and this is a symbolic statement that the relationship is done, and I am dead for this relationship. And I am a tosser and turner in my sleep, and using the pillows on the floor, the blankets on the floor when I wake up in the morning. And I woke up in the most deepest of soundest of sleeps. And I woke up and I looked like this. And I said, oh, my God. I said, that's funny. I said, I didn't move last night. I said, that's so crazy. I said, and I had such a deep sound sleep. It's even more unique. My girlfriend turns and looks at me. She goes, well, how are you, Tiger?
Oh, my God. What?
Just wait. You haven't heard anything yet. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, what the flying are you talking about? And she goes on to say, God, you were something else last night. And I'm thinking to myself, huh? And goes on to tell me this story that
he's thinking about it now.
That she has had the best orgasm of her life.
Good girl.
And I'm like,
you're welcome.
No. I'm thinking, from who? Because the hell wasn't me.
Thank you, Buzz.
This is the last time I ever want to see this person, and I'm not stupid enough to go into this now at 12:30 in the freaking morning when I want to go to sleep, and I'm so disparaged, disgusted, and just put off by her that I am not interested in touching her.
Wow.
I'm not going to be ever interested in touching her and having any relations with her. This is done, is dead. And that's why I said, when I went like this and said, I'm symbolically making this notice that I am done with her. This relationship is dead. I meant it. I'm not one of these guys. When I say that's that, that's that.
Yeah. It's gone. It's gone. But I'm definitely going to remember this.
Yeah, I'm going to do that too. I'm going to do that.
Like this one. What the fuck? I said, I didn't move the whole thing. That's not me. I said, well, I did sleep pretty peacefully last night. So then she goes on to say, I said, tell me about this experience of yours.
Do tell.
And she says, well, you started kissing all of a sudden in the middle of the night. I'm laying on my, she goes, I'm laying on my stomach, and somehow you're kissing the soles of my feet. It's like,
yeah.
And then you start kissing up the back of my calves. And I'm thinking, she didn't describe to me how she was positioned, but I assumed she was on her stomach, and I was kissing her up the back of her calves, all the way up her thighs, all the way. And I'm like, I said, yeah, I would have done that I'm thinking to myself, had I had a drop of passion or interest in you, yeah, that would have been me. Gosh. But I am like so devoid of anything but contempt and unpleasant.
It's probably an incubus.
I can't wait to get you out of the house.
Yeah.
It's not funny. But I didn't want to do it last night. And I told her, after she keeps going, she goes, and then you went down on me, and boy, you gave me the best thrill of my life. She goes, I've never had this one.
Incubi.
And then she said this, the cap was this. She goes, I even remember turning my head to the right, which is towards she was on the, let me see. Whoa, son of a bitch. She was on the right side of the bed, facing the sliding glass window. And that's the edge of that side of the bed. So I'm on the left side. And like I said, I went like this. So she goes, I remember turning to my right and seeing your smiling face next to me.
Holy crap.
And I said, I'm on your left.
Oh, the light gets better.
And I said to her, when you looked out to your right, you were looking out towards where the window is. And it is like 3 feet between the bed, the end of the bed, the side of the bed, and the window. At which point she said to me, she goes, oh my God. She goes, you're right. She goes, when I think about the face, it goes, I just remember the grin and the smile. It goes, she goes, and then she realized, I said, by the way, I said, after our little discussion last night, do you remember when you said that? And I just said, all right, fine. And I went to bed. did you remember how I went to bed? She goes, yeah, you had your arms folded. I said, how do you think I woke up? And she goes, with your arms folded. I said, yeah, I said, that wasn't me. I said, we're done. We're over. We are finished. I said, after what you said last night, that crossed the line. I said, I'm done with you. We're over. We're finished. That's boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
My God.
And I thought to myself, oh my God, who did I see a year earlier in the middle of the night in my bed, in the bedroom? Not in my bed, but in my bed. Jay Sebring. What was Jay notoriously known for? Being a little bit of a sorry, sorry, I didn't shut. I'm sorry. God.
JC, we all heard it.
He liked the ladies.
A serial sexualizing masculine hormone-filled man, which is true. You were, Jay. You were a red-blooded dog son of a bitch. Let's be honest.
He's like, Dave's out. Dave's out. I'm heading in.
Gorgeous women. You made passion.
Robert, did you say I'm topping it?
She should have married you. I'm sorry. I don't mean any disrespect by saying that. But let's be honest, Jay. You weren't fucking around with Sharon. You were loyal to her with no doubt. You were always loyal to your girlfriends. I agree. They were, well, not all of them were long-lived relationships, but with Sharon, you were. Because I was committed to Sharon. I was committed to Sharon.
He was,
she was my soulmate. I agree with you, Jay. She was your soulmate.
That's true.
So, my thought is it was Jay. I said that son of a. I said at least he had enough respect that when I said I was going to go like this and I was dead, he knew that he put me out like a light because I've never slept like that in my life so soundly. And it was like, wow, that was sweet. And yeah, she freaked out. And I said, we're done, we're over. I said, pack your bags, get your clothes and stuff out of here. And that's it. We're done.
Get out of here.
We're over. So I'm glad you had a nice bon voyage gift.
Oh, gee. Did you
I said, well, I'm glad you had a great orgasm your last night here. I said, but it wasn't for
world's
me,
strangest breakups, man. There has to be a separate show about that. And she's on it telling about how the ghost was kissing her feet and her ass. And you're like,
yeah, well, I mean, but it started off the cats. I'm thinking, yeah, she goes, you were running up my Achilles tendon. I was going, I said, oh yeah. I said, because you were nibbling me. She goes, just so kinky and so cool and so such a turn on. It's like, and you were taking your time. And I'm going,
and you know what? I was waiting for Chantal because
usually a person sleeps while they're tossing
and turning. Yeah,
you
Chantal.
Know something there, Chantal. You'll never know because you'll never be here to find out.
I was thinking the same thing, Chantal, and Chantal always brings it up. She does.
Oh my God! What the hell's that? Oh shit!
What?
My telephone's out. I'm surprised we still have the internet working.
What was it?
I'm hearing the beeping from the telephone to the alarm, to the house alarm, and it's beeping like it's going off like there's no signal. Means that my telephone's cut off. I don't know why. I'm surprised we're still on the internet, but.
Maybe somebody doesn't like you talking about it. Yeah.
No, I'm saying that it's off. I mean, God, I want to say, hold on 1 second, but hold on one quick second.
Yeah, take your time.
So when you sent me the link, I didn't know that who was the guest. Jenny, this is fantastic. This is very interesting.
I told you. Did I not tell you?
I don't think so. I'd have to look back, but I was, I was supposed to be on another show, and he was having all this technical difficulty.
I was looking for it. I was looking to watch it, and I couldn't find it.
Yeah, it's not StreamYard like you, but anyway, he was having difficulty, so I left, jumped on, and I was like, oh my gosh! So if you wrote it, I didn't read, I didn't read it properly.
I think I did. I would have. I think I did. Hi, Sarah.
Okay.
This cat is acting like a 2-3-year-old toddler.
That cat is adorable. And look at his little arm rings. He's got his little arm rings on.
I know. He's using me as a pin cushion.
He's so adorable.
He's the little feral that I took in December.
Yes, he's gorgeous. He's yours. He's staying.
He is staying. We've adopted him along with my 5 other cats and 4 other dogs.
Yes, why not?
So yes, Charlie's his name, like Charlie Chaplin.
Charlie.
Jeremy. Is that the one that didn't like Chantal? No, he's Jeremy.
Who
He's
did
over here.
who did like
I'm laughing, that's all.
Toby the
I'll
cat.
be right back. I'll be right back. I gotta get some batteries.
Okay, David. Toby the white-haired cat. Oh no, Toby.
Yes. Yep.
Well, she was.
Well, he's
flipping
got
her
a lot
bird
going on.
and he got it back. It's very funny. That's a wild breakup. I know.
It is a wild breakup story. Can you imagine her telling the story and people are like, "Yeah, I don't believe you," and you're like, "No,
That's
really,
funny.
I might have had ghost sex with
He's
Jay
a little bit.
Sebert."
The kitten is a little bit. He's acting like a toddler.
You should get one of those tiny laptop computer things. Did you ever see like the little video? Like if you buy your cat a tiny fake computer, they'll lay on that instead of your computer.
He's had his sleep and he had his feed and now he's just
excited.
Just kind of like cat at nighttime. Honest to
Yeah.
God, he's bonkers and I'm holding onto a tail like you don't want to see his stars on camera. And I don't really want it on my side of my head either.
Getting to know Chuck.
No,
You know
he's
Charlie
just
intimately.
huh? Come there, Charlie. We had about 10, 15 names for this cat. Oh my gosh, we were calling him everything.
Really?
Come on, my love. We ended up calling him Charlie Chaplin, Cheeky Charlie,
Cheeky Charlie.
or Charlie Chaplin.
He's just showing
When
them.
we first got him in, you couldn't touch him, you couldn't do anything, you couldn't go into his crate to give him food or change his litter tray or anything like that. He was petrified. And now he won't get off me.
Yay. That's
He's like a toddler. He's a little
I
bit
love
wild.
him. Oh my God, he's hilarious. He's got a great personality.
He does, and it's great that he's here and not. He was taken from like a feral colony, and well, not taken, but he was,
Will Ferrell colony.
a feral colony.
Will Ferrell.
And he I said to a friend of mine, I said, because she's busy, she runs dog kennels and whatnot, and the dogs didn't like the kitten, this one, and he was obviously afraid of them. So I said, I'll help and I'll, take him in and because I have had feral cats before. So I know, take gloves and give them time and let them decompress. Don't pick them up on the first day and so on. And now, like I said, he won't get off me or bite me or like scratch my face.
Yes.
But it's good now. This is his life that he has completely different to what he would have had. Living outdoors. He's a male.
Oh,
He, living outdoors, not having food. And you can see him from the pictures last
Two
night.
F's all day long. The two F's. Fighting and not
Oh
fighting.
my God. The other one.
Fighting in fucking hay.
Yeah.
Give me a lots of drink and I'll
Try to be
fuck
cute.
all day long.
But yeah, that's what
I
I see.
know. You can always count on David.
All day long, my pussy will indeed. Fight for me, pussy.
And now he's
in the telephone.
Jesus Christ. And now he's going to get his, he can do what he wants after like he's about 4 or 6 months of age. He can F all he wants because his
His balls haven't dropped.
they have, and they'll be,
They
taken
dropped
off in
into a
time.
trash can.
Look at him now falling asleep in my hand. Is he falling asleep?
Adorable. And then
It's funny.
who is that behind you? I can't see. I'm
Asha.
blinded. Oh, that is okay. I can see now. I have blinded myself with lights tonight. So I don't know
Isn't
why.
he falling asleep? Look at the leg. Look. Honest to God, seriously. I'm telling you, Pamela, like he owns me. We never own cats, they own us. And look at this now, lying on my he's
That
so
is
funny.
Adorable.
And now
I
he's
love
falling asleep. He's so funny.
Now he needs his own Instagram, of course, and maybe yes.
We get my Facebook page or Instagram.
Whoa, damn it again with a
No,
bug.
you're a shitty pet owner if you don't have your own Instagram for each one of your pets.
I don't have an Instagram for my cats and dogs. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, that my colleague had a Facebook page, but I never used it. Yeah, you see,
Too
Eric.
much work. Oh my God, you
Eric
can't.
has a
People are like,
different
don't you have a separate a private profile because you have too much going on this, whatever. I'm like, I don't. It's like having a job. I'm not going to have all these profiles and all that. Forget it.
I know. I just listen. I have enough going on, like with all the profiles.
Yeah.
Linda wants to know if Will Ferrell's into the paranormal. Dan Aykroyd I know is, but I don't know about Will Ferrell.
I don't
Is
know.
Will
That's
Ferrell into the paranormal? Is Will Ferrell into the paranormal? He's funny. I like him.
Oh God! Well, I'm dealing with around rain so bad that my telephone lines in the house are crossing up.
Oh, that's right. How is that? Is that? Do you worry about being on a hill with all this?
No, not at all. No, just across the.
You're down to bedrock, though, right?
I'm down to bedrock, but across the street from me is this mountain, and literally the last time it rained a few days ago, we had like 3 feet of mud across.
Yep. Yeah, that's what
his bulldozer to basically clear it out.
Yeah.
But when it's rained so hard that the electrical in the house, the telephone lines are fucked up, that scares me. Because if I don't know about it and people are trying to call, I have to then go figure out what's going on. So now I've got it basically hooked up directly to the landline. So it's
okay. Wow.
Because it was shorting out throughout the house. We're saying there's a short. There goes that again.
That's the cat. No, my cat Toby is making signs because he wants something. Oh, my smoke alarm is going off.
Oh, look at that kid.
Look at David. He was using me as a pin cushion earlier, and now he decides
he's tired. He's a kid, and you know that. They have like an outburst of energy for a couple of minutes.
Yes, he's acting like a 2 or 3 year old toddler.
Or my husband.
And now look at him. He's just flopped out. He just took a big sigh there. He's a funny.
Look at that face. What a little tabby boy.
He's so funny.
Oh, he's adorable.
Now I'm like stuck like this until he wakes up.
Yes. Well, you could try to put him down on a pillow or something. And
He can come get on my little pillow. Come here,
He's
Charlie.
Just so lovely.
I want your cat.
He's just so lovely. A little bit bonkers, which is why he's Charlie Chaplin. But he's a good
Charlie Chaplin. I love the name.
Charlie Chaplin. We had so many names for him. We were going to call him Puka, which is ghost in Irish. We were going to call him, Dougal, which is like Father Ted.
Dougal.
Dougal from the Irish priest comedy, Dougal. Oh gosh, we had.
How about Duddy?
Huh?
Duddy.
He's
Duddy.
Close to Duddy.
What a face. Look at me, good movies like I'm not doing a thing but sleeping and dreaming I'm moving.
Wow.
I'm dreaming, I'm flying. I'm actually flying.
Yeah, look, I'm flying.
Look at him. He's not moving. He is so well adjusted. He's like so happy and so.
Can you believe the first time I got him in and he, oh my gosh, he was a biter. He was a hisser. He spat. He growled when you only looked at him. He was and he was about 5 weeks of age. 6 weeks, if that, pushing
He's an intruder. Are you kidding me? He knows what this animal symbolizes. A threat to your interest in him, and he's going to be diverting the interest away from your cat that's there.
Yeah.
Like,
Mister. What you get?
Just, I heard, it sounded like it was a deluge of water. I'm going to open the window and see how it is outside, because the house next door is empty and has been baking for 6 months.
Yeah. Linda, he is totally calmed down. I can't move because he's in my arms. And Eric,
it's still raining. Can you hear the rain?
No, animals. Yeah. That's nice. I love the rain. I love the rain because we have so much of it in Ireland and I have no choice.
Well, we don't have much of it here, so this is actually good for us.
Which is different.
Yeah, it's really... Yeah, you can hear it coming down. That's. I'd almost say like let me do this.
Nice. See it. Let me put my glasses on. I'm getting older and blinder.
I can hear Bill just came home. I heard him come in. Oh.
Will you marry me, Bill? I love you.
Oh, he hates that song. You know.
Cares. It's a great song. Fifth Dimension.
Bill works on all my equipment for me. I dream up equipment and he makes it. And I love him for that.
Nice.
But he does not want to participate or anything like that. And I respect that. And he doesn't want to hear any voices, that's for sure. Especially the guy who was dying or groaning right between us the other night.
Why don't you put a recorder secretly in your bedroom?
Yeah, I could. Actually, yeah, I just got a new camera system. I should put one in the bedroom. Not tell me.
Very funny. I don't even have. Well, I do, but I don't. Well,
Yeah, that's a.
yeah, it's another story.
It'll backfire on me. It'll backfire on me.
I got a question for you. What about a device? And this is something I thought of a long time ago, which is really crazy in concept, but makes a lot of sense. Digital camera.
That's my cat.
Scare the crap out of me because my cat is asleep.
Whoa.
A camera rig with a digital camera on top and a film 35 millimeter film camera on the bottom. Okay. And the film camera on the bottom is nothing more than a simple Instamatic click, in fact, an advanced manual.
Yep.
So it can only take one picture at a time, cannot take double negatives, double exposure. Right. You have the rig built up, set up so that both camera focuses on the same point.
Mm-hmm.
You have one actuator, meaning you have one button that clicks on both top and bottom cameras simultaneously. So whatever you take that in, when you take a picture, you're taking two pictures at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
That's absolutely possible. It's very,
that would be really good.
I want that. And then if you want to go an extra step, I just thought about, you could always put a video camera underneath it to keep so you have three different sources, totally different, unique points. But really, it's really two sources because one's digital and the other one's, I forgot the name of it, what they call that when you take film, the type of medium it is.
Oh gosh.
Well, it's
analog. There you go. It's
analog, but
one's analog.
The difference would be that you would have to use. The difference are there's 3 or 4 different kinds of lenses. There's conical, and then there's some other kind.
Standard, just like the same lens that you have on the Instamatic, the same type of thing, so that it's just clear as a bell.
Mm-hmm.
No, you're not talking about making the aperture wide. No angle lenses. No lenses. Just standard, regular 35 millimeter lens with a standard. So that because I have film photographs here that have with 800 speed film with a little Instamatic that I'm just randomly shooting around, and it's like, and I'm saying when you shot on digital, the digital, I believe, because the CMOS chip interprets what it sees and has to correlate it, it's interpreting it differently than what the actual film is.
And it's filtering. And it's filtering. You're absolutely right. The CMOS.
You could do that as well. But this is between analog and digital, meaning film and digital. So that if I capture something on film and it's not captured on digital or vice versa, there's a question of what is not being captured and why.
And then you can figure out, once you figure out what's not being captured, you can make the third piece of equipment that focuses on those things that are missing, on the missing piece.
You can do the video so that it basically shows you what's going on while you're setting up. But again, I want to keep it limited to maybe start a few seconds before we're taking the picture and a few seconds after. That way the video is that way. It gives you an intro and an exit. But again, the most important component is the comparison of the two mediums, taking the same picture at the same time. How is it interpreting it?
And then you can see like a little bit. That's almost like a live photo on an iPhone. I'm not sure that Androids do that or not, but that's almost like that. Yes. So you're actually taking mini videos.
Would that be like
camera? And all right, so you want to go 3 ways: digital camera, iPhone, and then the film camera. So you have 3 different
standard analog 30.
All in the same way, shooting the same spot, the same time, and then of course you have to develop your film. But you basically have the 3 images, you line them up, and you compare the 3.
Would that be like what I have as well, the trail camera, that it will take pictures, but if anything moves, it's like for hunting.
But again, a trail camera is digital.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I have this is one that I have this. I love this body camera.
It's digital. It shoots digital images. The stupid thing is what I'm saying is the analog is the stupid technology. It means it only is going to capture what it sees. That's what it's there. Not interpretation of
gotcha.
Well, in the CMOS, the digital is going to filter out certain lights and certain different thing. It just says, no, I'm not going to do that. The same thing with digital recorders versus like when you would just hit the, with your magnetic tape and the old cassette tapes that we used to use, and even reel-to-reels or that sort of thing. So using a magnetic tape versus the digital is completely different, and it has filters built in. No matter what you click on your digital recorder, like, oh, I'm just gonna, no, it's got filters in there.
So you're saying digital camera. So if you're going to use a few of them, digital camera, phone camera. What would the third one use?
Digital camera, a real digital camera, not a cell phone. And then a cell phone, and then a 35 millimeter analog film camera that just click, and you must manually advance to make your next picture taken.
Or to prevent double exposures, you could probably have one that automatically advances.
I have one. I took pictures here in 2004 when we did the anniversary investigation. Here, shit, I'll show you.
And the actuator would just need a splitter. It would just the actuator just needs a splitter.
It's a rig. You're building a rig, is what you're building.
There's probably a photographer out there right now going, "I do this all the time," but not for paranormal.
No. I think there's somebody. I don't think anybody's come up with this idea.
Maybe an artsy guy, but they could be doing this. Maybe not doing it exactly like you say, but they have all the equipment. I'm going to talk to my friend in Dallas and talk to the husband here and see what But I imagine it's very easy to split an actuator.
That's why I mentioned it to you to begin with, saying, "Hey, your husband's a jack of all trades, creator and an inventor.
Yes.
Have him see him. Tell this one out. Be a great idea to come up with something like that."
What was the other thing you made, Robin? The other thing that you made, and I loved them. There was these little balls.
Oh, the little the minions,
yes.
They were like little weather stations, basically. And what was different about those was there was a lot that you could deploy everywhere, kind of like the movie Twister, where they put all those things. Only these are like they just think about them little weather stations. But the difference between those and your regular shit is that these go to database so that you can correlate your evidence. So when you do get the picture with David's fantastic invention, you can go back and say, wow, look at all the fluctuations in the atmosphere at the same time when he took this picture. Exactly.
What's that?
David?
This photo that you're seeing was, and I don't know, you have to guide me since I can't see.
Oh, we can see it, Grant. Yeah, we can see it good.
Is it, should I pull the camera out?
Oh, no, it's good. No, it's perfect where it is now.
All right. Well, what you're seeing there is this was shot in 2004 on the anniversary of the murders. I'm trying to set this down. This is actually is a photograph, 35 millimeter print. My mother's second cousin was here videotaping it. Mm-hmm. And I shot this with a piece of crap camera I bought at, not at Kmart, damn it, at the other place, Target. Yeah. That day, got 800 speed, 35 millimeter film. And that's what you see is what I captured. And no, when people sit there and think it's the camera strap, we watched the video. There was no camera strap there. Okay. And the color, if you notice, the colorization starts at the bottom. As you work your way up, it changes colors. And then at the top, it's diffused and it's actually, you can see it's transparent, as well as it's transparent in parts of it as well.
That's amazing.
That's
just from a regular.
That's a regular piece of crap camera. Now I'm going to show you the next picture. Now this is a digital shot, but you can see these orbs, or maybe this is film. I'd have to double check and see. This is another one, same night.
That's the same.
This is in front of the gate that was there. This is the newer Tate Gate. After the property was demolished, they put this gate up, but this is there about 10 o'clock, maybe 11 o'clock at night on the 9th of August, 2004. And again,
there's pictures in between the first one that you showed us with the blue.
Well, that's a different. These are all. Remember, these are input into. These aren't on the same night. This picture.
Okay, but you took other pictures with that camera where this did not appear before the gate.
Yeah,
appeared. I got disappearing. Okay.
These pictures must have been about 5 rolls of 36 exposures, so about 180 pictures that night. I think 4 of them had anomalies.
That's like what I'm asking. Okay.
Yeah, no, these weren't. Not every picture had this. No, these were the obscurity of the obscure. But as you zoom in, you can actually see the wrought iron gate work through this.
You can see through it.
So it can't be the strap of the camera. And what is the explanation of this colorization here? Yet here it's translucent. Right. Yet here it's not. Right here. But here it is.
It is translucent. I can see the gate through it. Yeah, I can see the gate.
And if it was anything on the lens, it would look the same in both pictures. But
All
they
the
look different
pictures.
in
And
both
if there was
pictures.
movement
Yeah.
of the person taking the photo, the gate would also be.
Of course, the gate would be blurred as well.
Yep.
But you can see there's nothing,
Amazing.
So then on the
And it looks-
then this
yeah.
is that same night, same film. Now then you have this weird iridescent burn right here. But this I don't even really pay much attention to, except you have that here, right here. That doesn't make sense. Right across the very top, right here. I noticed that line of white. And again, it's in color. Now let me go back to this. Here's another picture the same night. Now this is a different night, but it's again with a 35 millimeter. Here's a 35 millimeter shot in another evening, but you have this here.
Oh.
But again, that's film. That shouldn't be there.
Yes.
And there was no. That's film, and it's 35 millimeter. You're not using a flash tube.
This is digital. This is at the bottom of the stairs, and you have this formation here. What's interesting, that's Dr. Barry Taff. That's his friend Steve. I forgot Steve's last name. What Steve is holding is a digital geomagnetometer, and it was spiking. So he says it's spiking. So I took this picture, and here on this side, you can see this energy that's forming here that shouldn't be there. And it's not on this side, and it's only limited to right here.
You're facing
on the stairwell.
Yeah, they're looking at
this.
That wouldn't be the same stairwell that the blonde woman went down, would it?
Yes, it would be. But he's on the bottom floor, 30 feet below or 24 feet below that. This is a picture we shot inside the gate when the gate was open on the 35th anniversary. And you see this? This is early in the evening. The gate was open. So watch this picture next. Whoops, not that picture, son of a bitch. Not that picture. No, not that. Not that. Give me that.
Excuse me. Oh, wow.
God, not that. Where's that? All right, scratch that. Crack out. Where the hell did you go with a shot of shots? It's here somewhere. Where are you, son of a... Oh, God. All right, let me do this. Let me just open this up. Ghost Pictures 2004. Ghost Pictures. There we go. Ghost Video. Play open new window. Yes. All right. So we'll go back to this and I'll show you the second picture I was trying to. Here we go. No, not that one. The other. Oh, son of a bitch. Where is it? I have files on top of files on top of files.
I'm the same. Yeah. But I had to go look for one.
Yeah, but yours are all in your own home. That's the difference.
Yeah.
This is all here. Shit.
Computers and on the cloud.
All right. Sort by date modified. Maybe that'll help. Does that mean I have to go to the very bottom? Probably does.
Probably. It's always at the end.
Isn't it always, though? That's what Jim Morrison said it so well. Here we go. Thank you.
Did you get it?
Yes, I'm going to get it if it comes open. All right, so this is the second picture on that night. Now look at this, kids.
See you, Linda.
This right here. The light, now mind you, the sun has already gone down behind us. This ain't no sun flare you got here, and you don't have one right here.
No, that's a lot. That's blinding even.
Yeah, and it's not, again, it's translucent. You can actually see through it. It's not enough to burn the actual photo. And these are 35 millimeter photographs. The anniversary of the murder. This is before we did our investigation on August 9th. That and that don't belong.
I'm looking at the right-hand side one, and the one on the left, you can see like the trees.
Yeah, you can see the trees. This right here shouldn't be there. That don't make no sense.
And what road did you say this is on, David?
It's the end of my street, Cielo Drive Private. This is 2004. This is inside the property. Look at that. And then this.
Oh, that moved. It moved.
Parts of the house.
So the one that you just... The one that
Yeah,
you just
those
showed us
streaks
there,
of light.
the white
Yeah.
strip going down.
Yeah, that's inside the property.
Yeah, because it moved. And see that now, Robin?
Look at that one.
And it's rippled.
Yeah,
rippled.
it's
Yes.
that.
The crinkle
Well,
French
isn't that the
fry.
same as what we have in blue?
Okay.
This is during the investigation on the 30th. I brought in 3 psychics, all 3 of them were from different locations in the area that we brought them in. One was a hotel, one was at a restaurant, one was at another restaurant. Brought them in independently of the others, didn't tell them anything of the backstory, where they were going. They came in blind. She's getting all this weird information. I'm shooting this video, and she says, I'm getting a weird feeling of a woman. She's on my left shoulder. She's finding it very difficult to see.
No.
And I snapped the picture, and there is this ball of energy right next to her left shoulder, on her left shoulder, right in the video is corroborating what she's saying, and I snapped the picture literally 10 feet away from her and captured that.
So you have this digital file. What I would wish you would do with it is to go and play with the lights a little bit, the brightness, the saturations, and see if you don't find more of a form along with that shape that's on her left shoulder. If you take out the blue, put too much blue in there, take out the green, put too much green in there, and see if you don't see a shape that is an addition to what you see in that photograph.
Yeah.
Well, what I found so fascinating isn't the photograph, but the fact that the circumstances under which the photograph is captured and connection with corroboration with what she's saying, because she's saying randomly, there's a woman on my left. I mean, I could show you the video if you like. I could find it.
Yes.
And you can watch the video and you go, oh my God. He goes, yeah,
I would like that.
go.
Yeah.
Let me see where the hell that is. Oh, I know where the hell it is.
Correlation.
Yeah.
Give me 2 seconds. I'm just going to get logs from my fire.
And if you did that, not that you need to prove anything to anybody, because I don't give a shit about that anymore either. But for your own benefit to go through and say, yes, there is a larger shape emerging around, and you'll just might see it with a different color.
Right.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting to do that.
It is very fascinating, that video. Let me see if I can find it. God, where the hell is the video?
I feel your pain. I know.
Yeah, I'm not going to bore you with me looking for it. I'll look for it and put myself back on camera so it's not too bloody boring. Let me see.
Yeah, Jenny ran off real quick, but she'll be right back.
That's fine. Like I said, it's a fast. I know where the hell it is. Where is it?
So
where is it?
Been down. This is my husband, Bill. Bill, this is David. And
Hi, Bill. I can't see it right now. I'm in my files folders trying to look for something on.
Well, while you're looking for that, I'll tell him his idea. What he wants is a digital camera right below it, and a 35 millimeter camera, and perhaps even a video camera with the same actuator, so it all photographs the same time to the same point. That's doable, right? Yeah. Okay. Yep. There you go. You got your official word. Yeah.
Exactly. Build a rig so that you have 3 different forms. You can have a cell phone one on it, a regular digital camera, and then a regular 35 millimeter camera that you have them. So you're shooting it all pointed the same exact location. So when you click, you're getting 3 different images from 3 different cameras of the same, 3 different cameras of 3 different sources of the same image on 3 different cameras. So you can compare them to see what you capture. That kind of thing.
It's perfect. He goes, yeah, it's definitely doable. I'll just keep at him to let's do that.
Tell him about
I actually have this really old, but it's in perfect condition. It's an old Russian 35 millimeter camera that is completely it is completely manual. So I have it, and it's in perfect condition. It's ready to go. Of course, we have an old digital camera that's perfect. I don't even need an old one. I can get a new one for cheap. And I have another cell phone.
eBay. Exactly.
I'm freaking ready. I'm going to go right now, put on my big goggles, and go do it. The thing I can actually see with.
Let me ask you, who do you know that is at all involved in the in production at all that might be interested in doing something, like I said?
Paraplex Network. I work closely with
I'm looking to take this to Fox Television, because for the money you make on on all of that. It's not worth it. It's just.
What about, you don't want to involve Nick Groff again? What about with
Nick
Dan
doesn't
Price?
want it. Nick's busy up. I've already talked to him a couple weeks ago. He's busier than hell with another show he's coming out with. So it's like, I don't have time to breathe. I've got the kids and my new wife. And it's like one in the way.
I do know one of the field producers that used to work with Ghost Adventures, and now she works for it's a big network. I'm just not placing it right now, but she's a producer for them, and she's working on her own Netflix series. But I could say, hey, how would you like this?
Look, do me a favor, speak to her and tell her, because I'm tired of doing other people's shows and don't.
I will. I will definitely.
Because everybody's done this show. I mean, I wrote this book of mine because I said I'm tired of watching everybody tell my story wrong. So I said I got to get the story straight. And it's comprehensive. We go into the history of the area with the Native Americans and the irony that on August 3rd, 1769, 200 years and 5 days before Sharon was killed, the Native Americans and the Spaniards made first contact in Southern California on that date, about 2.5 miles from where we stand now. And
almost every location I go to, I don't speak the native tongue. I train myself and I research and I approach the indigenous people first, because I don't always understand the EVPs they send back to me. I'm going to be very honest. It's very difficult. But I respect that, because they were here long before white guys got here and killed her. So anyway,
we're the Spaniards first before the white guys. The Spaniards were the first.
All of that. But, so
that's the whole point. Exactly, you're showing reverence, so you have respect from them. That's what I convey to the spirits, and that's again what we wanted.
Yeah.
And then we talk about the area, and then the development of the area before they got to the building of the Sharon Tate House in 1942. And we talk about the Paul Byrne house where Jay lived, where Sharon saw the apparition of the blonde-haired woman at the bottom of the stairs with the throat cut from ear to ear. We talk about the Rudolph Valentino house, which is across the canyon, which also has a connection to the house here, and all of that stuff, so that it's a much more comprehensive historical. Then we talk about the Sharon Tate murders, and we demythologize some of the BS about there was a party there that night. There was no party there that night. That's all.
No party.
Just some of the stuff that makes for interesting, how should we say?
So I'll definitely, I got the meat of that. So you want to tell the real story.
The story about my story about building the house, and the whole story about my connection going back to 1969 to Jan and Dean and to the Hitchhikers, and then in 1970. I mean, like I said, I've got a nice little, here, send me we'll exchange emails after the show, and I'll get you the information. You can look at the outline, because I know Nick and I spoke, and he says, Fox Networks is looking for a show right now, for a paranormal show. I said, yeah. He goes, well, they're looking for an investigative show. And it's like, yeah. I said, but Nick, I don't need to investigate what I already have evidence-wise. And he goes, and you also live the tie into the Sharon Tate murders.
Yeah.
And interviewing Quentin Tarantino about his experience when he was up there shooting the movie will also give him the ability to get publicity for that and reinvigorate that product and his novel, so that it makes sense why people would want to see this on Fox. And for the amount of stuff we'd also include my movie as part 5, or as the 5th piece of the puzzle, because we're using clips from the movie in the docuseries. I've got 4 crew members and my cast member who were here during the filming of the movie who had experiences. One saw Sharon Tate's apparition and freaked her the hell out. One saw Jay Sebring's apparition, didn't realize it was him until she realized when she was in the kitchen seeing this guy walk past the kitchen window that, wait a second, David doesn't live on a house on a flat land. His house is, and then she went outside and looked, and she saw where the stairs were and where the window was. And she goes, he couldn't have been. He would have had to been 17 feet tall. As he walked across the window frame.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
The stairs were here, and here's the stairs, and here's the window. And she goes, it's impossible.
Yeah.
Described him to me, and I showed her a picture of Jay Sebring, and she goes, yeah, that's the guy I saw. I said, he's been dead for 50 some odd years.
What's this I heard that right after he said no parties. So when I had watched it was apparently there was a party in the house. Why would they say there was a party?
There
in the
was
house?
no party at the house.
Why would they say that?
Everybody says they were invited to the house for a party, the party that never was, as I like to call it.
Wow. Why would they say that there was a party if there wasn't one?
Because everybody wants to be associated with a tragedy in a sense. It's like,
Holy
I could have
crap.
been killed too. Oh, blah, 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 blah.
That's just a pain
And
in the
that's-
arse.
I've had a few friends over before, and trust me, it was no
Well,
party.
You believe in some way, shape, or form, how should we say, effectively, what do you want to say? They're basically effectively associating themselves with the tragedy that befell them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before I'll find the clip and I'll show you that clip of that woman. I want to
love
show you a
See that.
little bit of what goes on here.
I would love to
This
see
is
that.
the house, and all around that, unfortunately, is one of the tarpaulins over the cameras. But for instance, this is the front of the house, the front door camera. This is, I'm not going to go through, this is one of my cats. This is one of my bedrooms where I have my cat, Domino. That's why you see all that
Bedroom.
stuff. There she is. She's right there.
Say it. It's your cat's bedroom.
Yes.
This is the
Your
second floor.
friends.
This is the second floor hallway looking down. All right, enough of the Gosh on Peanut Gallery commentary. This is the figurine camera.
Yes,
And funny, they
I
have
love
not been knocking the figurines in a long time.
Really? They haven't been knocking
they've been
them?
quiet.
Oh gosh.
No, there's the garage camera. There
No,
we
that's the
are.
spirit. Knock over the figurines tonight, please.
Is that us?
Yep. There's the other reverse office camera. It's a bit of a wreck mess. And here, let me wave. I'm behind that big monitor there.
Oh, okay.
Oh, right. Okay. You're on the other side.
Yes, you saw the reverse of that.
Yeah.
This is my bedroom where the cats are sleeping. There's one of them. I don't know where the other one is. My office, my bedroom is a bit of a mess.
Oh, listen.
There's the across the canyon camera.
Where's that,
That's
David?
Dr. Phil's up there. That's
Dr.
Dr. Phil's. That's the tarpaulin I have on the from the roof covering the balconies right now. So that's the blue.
Hi.
Oh, I thought it may be a big flag that says, "Hi, Dr. Phil."
No.
I didn't see when you repeated this.
I'm just
This is
messing with you.
this is the top floor. That's the top floor. One of the top floor cameras, the living room camera, the den. Is there.
Yeah, seen that one.
Let's see. Another living room camera.
I'm going to do that now,
So you can
Amri,
see the
'cause
tarpaulins there. There's the tarpaulin.
Yes.
The big blue tarpaulins over the balconies.
So I'm going to say,
There's
Amri
the
saying,
third
when you replay
level.
this video, where's that, David? Sorry.
That's the third. That's the theater room.
Okay.
That's the camera. God, I want to stay consistent with what you're looking at. So
That's a good idea,
where's the
Robin, when you were
reverse
saying
theater?
that picture.
All right, fine. I'll just keep going with what we're looking at. That's the earthen wall room. Looking down on it. That's the here we go. This is the guest bedroom on the third floor.
Oh, okay.
That'll be our room, Robin.
That's one where,
When we go over.
This is the theater camera looking at from the wall, the other opposite wall. There's the popcorn maker. There's the balcony.
Wow.
There's the door. There's a door into the guest bedroom. There's the
Lift
bar.
your camera up a
with
wee bit.
What?
Lift your camera up a little bit.
just a few inches.
Aye.
That's what.
What?
That's what she said.
Oh no, but you're saying lift your
Because of
phone
this.
camera up a little bit when you're showing the pictures. Just lift your camera phone
No,
up.
we're
a
missing part of your monitor. We need the top part of your monitor a little
That?
bit more.
Oh yeah, you're good. Keep going with the pictures. Lift it up a little bit.
There you go.
That's perfect. Spot on.
You're gonna have to
Perfect.
bear with me. The transmission
Oh, no, you're okay.
is murky. This is
It
the.
is.
No, I'm saying with the audio. So let's see. This is the earthen wall room looking in. There's the entrance of it there. This is the guest bedroom looking out towards the balcony.
Mm.
This is the stairwell going from the second floor to the third floor.
Wow. That's nice.
This is looking into the earthen wall room.
Is anybody hearing that? Did nobody
This
hear
is-
that?
Squeaks.
That's the rain
Like that.
behind me.
Like
Yeah.
an interference?
Yeah. Like someone's
That's the
screaming.
interference is because that's this. This is interfering with my signal transmission
Okay.
right now. So
Okay,
don't be
gosh.
fooled. That's me. That's the system because I'm running this and it uses
that's okay.
such a large capacity of energy to
Oh, right.
use the cameras at the
interference.
same time. It's interfering. This is the den. Right,
That's
that's
the
me.
interference I had for
Well,
night
that's my
doing my
camera.
live.
There you go. We'll be off this in a second. I'll close this down.
That's
So I
okay.
can
It's
get
okay.
back to
We're like looking.
This is outside looking at the rain in the front of the house.
And that, your house is only 150 feet away from the Tate's house.
Yeah, here's an
It's only
example.
150 feet
There's
away.
where the Tate house is, right there.
That's just
That's where
crazy
that's the
amazing.
gate right there.
Wow, David. That's just wow. Like, oh
It's
my God. We are
pouring out there.
I'm booking a flight. I am booking a flight
Look
over.
at this. You're looking down this. This is from the top of the top floor looking down the stairwell. That's the second floor, and that's going down to the third floor right there where the carpet is.
Good
And look who's
gosh.
there. Look who I have a book there. And look who it is. Family Man. The cover of Family Man right there.
Oh my gosh. That stairwell is fabulous. I mean, I'd roll down that in the morning.
I was going to
This
say.
is the dining room. Yeah.
I'd roll down it. I'd walk up it at nighttime because I will definitely be making a trip over, hopefully. And I would, and David,
That's
I'm
the
going
laundry room.
Where's that?
That's the
The
laundry
laundry.
room looking into the laundry room. All of that's soon to be all gone with all the memorabilia. All of that's soon to be all gone.
That's just
Part of my
just,
past, apparently.
That's just annoying, David. That's just
There's the
annoying.
living room looking into it.
It's a lovely house. It's got a great
Let's
plan.
not get into it. Thank you.
I
Thank you.
know.
I appreciate that. Let me
Great layout.
find that.
I know.
Video. I'm going to find this is my YouTube channel, by the way, kids. I'm
I
going to
have
find that
that.
13-minute video.
Let me get you the YouTube
What's your
channel.
YouTube channel called?
This is the YouTube channel.
YouTube.com/David Oman.
Oman.
O-M-A-N.
Down at the bottom of the screen, going by. That is the YouTube channel for David Oman. All these home videos. Have a wee look at them. I will be doing it myself.
Yeah,
I've
me
done
too.
some, but I'm going to do more.
Yeah.
I find it, I have to say, when people say, oh my God, there's somebody in your house, I find it okay, to be honest. I know someone told me before, oh, you've got to cleanse your house and so on. And I'm like, but I don't want to cleanse my house. I don't want to cleanse.
I had somebody come over and they said, I can just feel them on my back. I want to get rid of those little fuckers, is what she said. I'm like, what? No, this is not your house. Like they're probably on you because they can feel your nasty little energy. Why don't you leave?
Exactly. Get out of I don't like your energy. Get out of my space.
Actually, that person has never been back. Never been back.
Yeah, you're ruining my vibe. Get out of my space. But
Yeah.
I live in a very historic town and I live beside the River Boyne. The River Boyne is so famous for the oh God, if anybody Irish was watching and I'm getting my history wrong.
They're all screaming at it.
Don't come for me. Don't come for me. But I live beside the River Boyne. I can't go into town unless I cross these bridges across the River Boyne. And there's been wars. Oliver Cromwell had came and attacked Drogheda and so on and so on. It's a very historic town. And I have seen, like one of the ladies was talking tonight about shadow people, to the point that, and I'm lying on my couch watching TV and I just look over to my kitchen. And now a neighbor of mine, many years ago, came down to me about, say, 11:30 at night and said to me, Jenny, can I talk to you about something? And I'm like, yeah, of course. And she said, my kitchen doors presses I keep opening. And I have no idea how she knew of me doing paranormal. But I don't know how, because I wasn't I wasn't as active with the paranormal then as I am now on Facebook. And I said I can go down to it. I can have a look, I can do work, whatever. But it never came to that. But I do believe her because we're all in the same land. It's just houses built on a field. That's beside the river where the fighting was going on. So, yeah, I don't mind. And I do believe that Anne-Marie as well. Oh, look.
You know, my house in Austin was more of a violent haunting, but I really don't mind them here. And really, in a way, I didn't mind it there, but that might have been part of the problem. But here, they're just kind of here with us, you know, in and out, and I'm okay with that. Oh, hey!
It's squeezing your heads.
Hot chick.
Your heads. The
You
kids in the
squash my head.
house. Squeezing your heads.
All right, I found the clip, kids. I'm just
Okay,
doing this,
fantastic.
trying to set this up.
Awesome.
so you
I
can see
smell
it.
food, but there's no food here.
I'm starving.
Eric, where are you from? Ireland says we too. We always say we. We dram. That's Scottish actually, but we always say like lift
Right.
we do. Where are you from,
All right,
Eric?
I'm going to cue this up right now. This is going to include a portion of the Ghost Hunters show.
Look forward to it.
It's like thermal for hot crotch shots. They're so red.
Oh Jesus, there's himself.
All right, here we go. This is it. Clip.
Is there volume on it, David? Mm.
Okay, that's right. When she was saying,
Yeah, you can see her.
Listen. Watch, so highlight it.
Wow.
That was it.
And you could
so
see
where that was appearing over her left shoulder, I swear the curtains behind were also blacked out in a larger area around
I've seen that from the picture.
Yeah.
Yes, I seen that from the picture because the back of the curtains looked really dark at one point, but I didn't say anything. But go ahead, David. Sorry, go ahead.
And what's funny is after she walks out of the room, I stood there and took another picture about 10 seconds later, and that orb is now 8 feet to the right of her, to the left of her.
God.
Same height, but moves over.
The same height, because if you thought it was something else like dust or hair or whatever, it would move.
Either go up or down.
Yes, but
And
it was the
here's
same.
The other thing, the second thing you got to remember,
Wow.
it's not the photograph on its own. It's not the video on its own. It's the photograph and video corroborating what she's saying and where it is. It's not, oh, it's on the right. I mean, if it's on the right side, I'm going to be a son of a bitch. You don't know your right from your left. But in fact, it's over exactly where she's communicating.
Yeah,
You could shoulder. Yeah.
You know, there it is. And the photograph is the photograph, but it's still where she says it is.
And you see her, you can see her as if she's getting clammy, like she's feeling herself, like she's feeling a little, you know.
So it's like affecting her electrical waves, frontal lobe. She's doing frontal lobe stuff, which we know, like the EMF is very good at messing with our frontal lobe.
She's really good. I want her on my show. Who is she? I want her.
I haven't seen her in 18 years. That's good.
Oh,
19 years. It's from 2004.
Gosh.
I bet
she was the psychic that Alma had brought in. She didn't tell her where she was going. We had 3 psychics that night, 3 different locations. Brought one in at a time, interviewed, walked her in, just let her go. Followed around the house, videotaped it, came back out, interviewed her, sent her back to square one where she was staying, location.
Oh my gosh.
Man.
Isn't it amazing?
Brought her back to location. Did the 3rd one. At the end of the night, we brought them back for a round table. This is the first time the 3 of them are together.
Mm.
We're interviewing them. We're not telling them anything. They're still completely in the dark.
The way to do it.
But the stuff they're telling us when they're going through the house is like, there's a woman with a baby, and she wants. I mean, I can show you that clip as well if you want.
Did you say baby?
She goes, I see it in this room, as a matter of fact. She goes, she's on the floor, and she goes, there's a woman with a baby. She wants me to help the baby, but I can't because the baby's dead.
What the fuck? Sorry for saying that. That just came out of my mouth.
I can't believe it. I'm like dumbstruck, and I'm videoing this going, and these people have no idea where they are. It wasn't like they
holy crap. No.
I want them coming in blindfolded. I don't want them coming in because everybody that comes in before knows what they're going to pick up.
Right.
Just see. So they're like saying, I'm feeling these sharp stabbing pains. Oh my God, the back of my head feels like it's just.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm going to use our empathic sensory recollections of what these people experienced on their last moments on Earth and how they died. Going, oh my God. And these people, and so at the end of the night, we finally, after we got their group collective response of what they thought, hi, Raymond, I said, this is where you are. And it was like, whoosh.
Wow.
Oh my God. And then the floodgates blew open.
Makes
And
sense.
the pain in my chest and my heart and the baby. And in my book, I actually spent hours.
Oh, I'm buying that. I'm buying that online right now.
On the book, what I did was I spent hours watching each one of these people go through, and I spent, you watch it, you write down what took place, and then you write down the dialogue. Take about like 8 hours to watch 2.5 hours worth of footage.
Yeah.
Give you the description and then give you the verbatim what was the quotes was impossible. But that's the idea that I want to put that little piece, maybe 10 minutes of that 2.5 hours of footage into the docuseries because it was 4 months before the first episode of Ghost Hunters ever aired. The first paranormal reality show.
I was going to say, someone looks very young in that video.
It's crazy. Like I said, and plus the photographs from that night, 2 or 3 weeks earlier. It's a really rich show when you say, wow, that's got a lot of power to it. It's like,
and you know what? And I have to say, it validates because when people say, "Oh, I'm seeing this, I'm hearing this, I'm feeling this," and it kind of like, okay, I'm with
this is what they're saying, feeling, and watching, and witnessing.
This was like creme de la creme. Like this is like the shit. You got both of them together, like the video and the
still photograph on film.
I love that because I'm very
okay.
As a paranormal researcher. Yeah, go ahead for David. As a paranormal researcher, investigator, you have to be.
Dog's having a dream. Bad dream.
Oh, he's having a dream.
Fiona's
okay.
Oh, I love the name Fiona.
Yeah, I did hear that.
Come here, Fifi.
The dog's name is Fiona. I love the dog's name, Fiona. And Reggie.
That's Fiona.
Reggie. Oh, that's Fiona. Oh my God.
Fiona, baby. You want to kiss Fiona? She looks.
She's the
like
Ridgeback.
Gray muzzle.
She's my Ridge. Oh yeah. You okay, kiddo? Got some goop in your eyes?
I always say that with my baby's eyes.
You okay, kiddo? Yeah, you got goop in your eyes.
Where's Reggie gone to?
My doggy.
Are they brother and sister, David, aren't they?
No.
Oh,
Fiona's from a totally different lineage. She's a pure Ridgeback who was they think she was from a breeding, some type of a breeding facility. Because when I got her, she was literally just given birth to some puppies.
God bless her.
She was still whelping.
Are you freaking kidding me?
No. But I lost my signal.
Signal.
What happened?
No, you're grand. We can still hear you.
You can hear me. You can't see me though.
Oh, we can see you. We can see you're frozen, but we can see you.
Oh well, that's good. I'm frozen. Great. So, and maybe that's the spirits are saying it's time to wrap my time up on your show.
Oh,
that's terrible. I'm looking down and it's a terrible image. I don't like that very much.
It's lovely, David. It's
lovely, David. Thank you very much.
Did you just do an Irish accent? I love it.
A gosh darn bloke. Look at that. God damn. What the hell, man?
There's nothing wrong with you. Look at my hair. It's a little bit crazy.
Well, we got to get Robin to get my information. So look, I guess
I will get all. I will.
Wait. I can send it in private chat, can't I?
Yes, you can. Yep. I can connect you and Robin together.
No, because I'd like to know who she knows because I need to get this going. What the hell?
She knows people. She knows a few people. She's like my sister.
Yeah.
Robin has always done.
People
Robin has
who
always
know
done
people.
shows.
Let's put it that way. I know people who know people.
Exactly. Well, I
And
don't
me,
know
I
about
could meet the most famous person and be like, I'm sorry, have we met before?
And I don't know anybody, but I'm just a connector.
Yeah.
I just
You
Our
are.
disconnector.
I'm just
Jenny does know people. Jenny interviews some amazing people, and she always becomes friends. And so, like, we can quietly behind the scenes put out a little bit of a word. Absolutely,
we can drop. Did you hear about this person? Fabulous. You should get them on.
That's right.
Because put it this way, Robin, we could have you and your husband on, especially because we could say we have the creator of this device that I had visualized, and Robin and I met this and that, and so you guys we can try it out on the show because let's be honest, the 4-part doc series is exactly that. It's supposed to be the story-based part of the show.
Right.
Where the series, we can always do a follow-up investigation show.
Yes.
I want them. I want to establish the foundation. I want to establish to the audience the story that we're trying to share with them. With us establishing this is the foundation and the truth. From this point, you can do other things. Yeah. But I don't want to go ask backwards and say, let's do a ghost investigation show. If you do
that is backwards.
You follow up with it. It's a rollout. You give.
I think Jenny could fly over for that. She could pick me up in New York, and I have a couple of.
Listen, I have my passport. Right, where's my passport? I think my passport is literally different somewhere.
Without agendas and with a different way of doing things, and I probably have to drive my husband to get him on camera, but we could do it. Yeah.
We get Bill on sometimes to say hi, and that's it. He'll say a few hi's to me. Hi, Jenny. How's it going? I'm like,
what? He'll like stare at the camera, smiling while he hands the equipment over.
He is the guy. No. Your husband
No, he's better than that. He's better than that. It's
present him as the man that is the creator of these devices.
He is a genius. He's fabulous. I love. Like me and Robin have been friends for a few years now, and she's like my sister, and she's done some great shows with me and so on. So I love when you kind of need someone and you connect them together and work it out, get what you want.
Well, this would be the time that you would really finally get on a plane and come over here, and I swear I'll come over there too. It's a 2023 plan. I mean, I just have to.
Let me see. I think my passport is actually.
Bill texts me where. Now I have my passport. I'm ready to go. For the new show that I'm working on with Mike Hatcher.
My passport. Look, my passport is ready.
You have
By the way, Bill would be Q to James Bond. He would be the guy that creates all these gadgets and things. Yeah. And that's what we present him as. We present him as this is our Q. And what is Q? He's the man that creates the devices that we use in this scenario. In the investigation future.
We really do have some really cool things, and we're about to unleash a couple of them on the world, and a couple of things I'm working on right now. And definitely he just seemed like the whole camera thing you were talking about was very doable. So I'd like to make a prototype of that and show it.
Give it a shot. Put it this way: Chris Fleming brought the original format and the precursor of the SLS camera here. 2007 or 8, and brought it here to test it out because the guy said, "You're going to the Oman house. I want you to take this there and try this there at the house." He goes, "I'm serious because I know you've been there before, Chris, and you've said the place is loaded with activity."
Wow!
And he brought it here, and it was like the rudimentary piece of equipment. It was all built in a way. It was just and I was like, "Wow!"
Oh no, I hacked my camera and I made my own at home. So definitely,
exactly.
So I know exactly what you mean. It's rudimentary, but it works, and you just have to understand how it works.
Problem is with this, and I found this out later on when I watched somebody's video explain this, and I always had my questions about it. What is it they're actually doing? And when you look at the way it was designed and the application of the Wii or the Genesis or whatever, the device is a mapping device that maps what is moving. It is supposed to remain stationary.
Mm-hmm.
And the room is supposed to be devoid of any objects that it can inadvertently map.
Right. That's why it maps chairs. It'll map a table leg, these sort of things. So you have to hold it very still. And what I set it down with a laptop, and I set the damn thing down. And I don't that people get away with thinking that it's a you know. So basically, it is a bunch of, and I'm going to say 1,000, but that's probably not the right number. But it's a bunch of lights that go out and they shoot the wall or they hit something, and then it bounces back and it says, "Here's my depth." And then it finds the depth in it, and it's got the algorithm to find human limbs, that sort of thing, a body or whatever. And so, yeah, you can inadvertently map a chair or something like that.
Yeah.
I've had it work, and I've had the entity at Wildwood Sanitarium. I had the little thing. There was like 6 of us watching. The camera was stationary, jumped on the table, did everything we said. It danced, it raised its hand, it tried to kick. We had a balloon on the table. Right. It was trying to kick. We were like, kick that son of a bitch, kick that fucking balloon. And it was like, woo, kicking. And then it sat on it and started bouncing up and down. It was doing everything we asked. Listen, this file was 90 gigs. And Lori Wagatha, the owner, she kept saying, can you send me this? I was like, I can't send this to you.
It's too big.
It's too freaking big. But anyway, that's beside the point. I love the SLS. And I actually like Chris Fleming. I think I wish I could. That's somebody I would like to investigate with for sure. He's like
what I've seen.
Did anybody hear? Oh no, I was going to say I thought I heard a whisper there now, but it's just probably me overloading and thinking. Sorry, go ahead, David.
I was going to say that what the Wii does is, because the cameras all have infrared, and when you use that thing, what you see on the wall is a spectrum of dots. What it is doing, I found out, is it's sending out not a radar beam, it's sending out a infrared beam.
Yes.
And the beam that it sends out splits up into a billion pieces, and it's basically mapping that area. So as you're moving, it perceives it's stationary, it's seeing movement. But if you're moving a stationary object to the machine, it'll interpret as it's moving.
Yes.
Something has to be stationary. So even if it'll map something that's moving while you're moving, because it sees movement as well. But if you're moving, it'll see an object that's staying still, and to its perception, it doesn't know that it's not moving.
You have to plant.
So it maps it out exactly. So you get false positives.
Or set it down. Yep.
Exactly. That's why I said you have to clear the room of anything that it can misinterpret.
Yes.
But again, if it's stationary, it can't. If something's stationary, it generally won't map stationary objects. But again, going by the application as it was designed, you have to work within that framework to know exactly where you get false positives.
Yeah.
Same with the rim.
It irritates me when you don't have to understand everything about your equipment, but it irritates me when people understand very little to nothing about it, and they're so excited about stuff that you can easily explain, and they're just like, God, you're a party pooper. It's like, I'm not a party pooper. Are you here to fool yourself?
Yes.
Are you here to make shit up? Because you don't need to buy this expensive equipment if you just want to make shit up and enjoy yourself, enjoy life, you know? Hey, I'm flying a hot air balloon right now. No, you're not. Sure I am. Shut the fuck up.
I agree. Exactly. And the most rudimentary equipment is probably the best. A digital recorder, a film camera, a digital camera, a video camera.
Yeah. I do like equipment, but I'm definitely like to go in very raw sometimes.
Yes, and AirPods as well get set off by your cell phone. So you go investigate. You really can't go with the cell phone.
There was one time I was in one of my locations in the daytime, because it's, like I said, it's beside me, the Drogheda Museum Millmount, and myself and my friend Alan had left fresh batteries in a REM pod. We don't use it often, but we do put it out there just in case, and we put a recorder there. So we had left the building at 3:00, and nobody else has the keys to that building, that museum. So when Alan went in the next day to pick up the recorder, let me tell you, the recording that was gotten, and the REM pod went off a few times, and it shouldn't go off. It was like, it was in the Drogheda Museum Millmount, where Oliver Cromwell had attacked the Martello Tower, and the British Army the barracks had owned it. Yes. I'm telling you, I'm going to send on this audio. I'm going to wreck your heads and send you on this audio. It is phenomenal. And I will say it is very much, I think, residual. I know David doesn't like residual, but I think it's a little bit residual, but I'll send it on and see what you think. I don't use the REM pod often because, malfunctions, and you got to get the batteries in right, and so on and so on. And there was nobody there in the building, so there was no cell phones around. But it is and you can hear guns being loaded.
Yes.
It is awesome. Just this is why I do audio a lot. And I, like David, you were saying, like, you could be doing video footage like 2.5 hours, and you could be there for 8 hours. There's many nights I've gone to bed at 7 a.m, and I do audio from 6 p.m. before. and I go to bed at 7 in the morning.
Yeah,
I'm doing
yeah.
audio.
That's
I'm
how
doing
you
audio. I have got 4 recorders here, about 15 files in each. I've 1 recorder completed, and I have to do the rest. But yeah, the Rampart is so, but when it goes off and you're not there.
Well, or when you don't know that somebody's left one behind. I almost pissed myself one night and up on the 3rd floor of Wildwood, and I was talking to whatever
Has everyone freezed
was up there. There was interaction. It's like under the foot of a bed or something. Scared the living shit out of me. I was like, what? Because I don't own one.
This
I don't
girl,
have
let me
it.
tell you, Damien, this girl, I tell you, she's the one that, because in Ireland we have to have insurance for going out in locations. This girl, Robin, needs insurance by herself.
In my own.
Tell you, we did it live, and like I had came up with this concept, but it's not the first time somebody came up with it. But I was saying, let's investigate. When I'm doing a location here in Ireland, I'm going to ring Robin, and I want Robin to call out of my location because I want her to get a response, not me.
Yes.
It's kind of like someone on the phone, ITC, but being in the room, but not being in the room. I thought it was a great idea at the time, but now it's just someone on the phone.
Well,
but
it was about we get responses, but we get it. Yeah.
The responses were great. But the night I was on with you, what place were you in?
I was in
Wildwood Sanitarium.
Yeah.
And then so this girl, right, she goes up into a room, and I'm calling out in Gaelic because there used to be Irish.
Oh, that was there. Wilson Castle.
Oh, yeah. Wilson Castle, that's the one. So I'm calling out Dia Gwith, Jenny is Adam Dum. That's like, hello, my name is Jenny. And then she got into this woven sting.
It was an old wicker transport.
Wicker body transport coffin, and she got into it, and you could see the stains on it. And I said, "Stay where you are. I need to take pictures. I took pictures, and I'm like, and now at the time I was like, that was a few years ago. At the time I was like, why? I wouldn't do it, but now I'm like, gung ho, I'll do it. And then she goes to this. We were always told on a team, never separate for safety and so on. So she finds this, Jenny, there's a ladder and it's got up into an attic. And I'm like, have you been there before? And she goes, no. And me being me, let the team know where you're going. Let John and let the team know where you're going for safety. And she goes, fuck it, I'm gone up. So she goes up. She goes up into it, and I'm like, I'm calling out through her phone, John, Kate, she's going into the attic, for safety, because you're like 3 floors up at the stage. So she gets into the attic, and there's bricks there, and there's like an old rake there, and an old sweeping brush.
And a hat for the roof. Yes.
That's like and there was another hole in the roof, but it was covered, and you couldn't go any further. If you could, you would have. You'd be sitting out on the roof with a beer, swinging your legs off the side of the roof. All right, folks, I'm up here. And so I said, put these blocks on, put them in a certain way that they will know, if you move them, if somebody moves them and so on. But they won't move. And there's Kate coming up. And I said, Kate, I told her not to go up without you. But she kept doing it. And I'm like, if anything happens, and I'm like, do I scream through her phone, and call down like 3 floors down? But this girl needs insurance out by herself. She does.
But part of that decision making is laziness, though, because I'm like, well, I'm already on the 3rd floor. Here's the attic, the secret attic stairs, or I could go all the way through this giant place, down these stairs, down that stairs, go find them, convince someone to come back. I'm like, I'm lazy. I'm lazy.
Walkie-talkies, radios.
We did have walkie-talkies. We never, you never have them on you.
When you in the case. Yeah, we leave them in the case because we forget to use them
for the show. You're like,
Yeah, and then all some of your devices go off, and like that's why we don't use Rampart.
Yeah. Did we lose David?
No, I'm still here. I'm listening to you go.
You are okay. You're frozen.
Just can't have any video for some reason.
Huh? Why don't you take your
video?
Why don't you take your video off and put your video back in, or go out and come back in?
I wouldn't know. If you can stop cam and then try that again. All right, let me see. It's
try that.
Is that better? No, it's not.
Frozen. Why don't you come out and use the link again to come back in?
There we go.
Oh,
I didn't know if
come back.
Hear us or not. So much fun.
Oh no, I tell you. I mean, I'm like, don't do it. Insurance. Like, I'd have you stamped on your forehead. Insurance liability.
Well, well, maybe, yeah. Okay, so I'm thinking, like, if we, like David was saying, like, if we get something together here. This is the time that you really need to fly over, and we'll go together to California.
My passport is here. It's not out until 2027. I'm sure I'll fly before then. I'm hoping to go somewhere this year. So why not do this?
Yeah.
I'm old.
Yeah.
I've even seen the guest room, and I said that's mine. David has.
Yeah, I won't be using the exercise equipment while I'm there. If I don't use the one I have in my own house, I'm certainly not going to use that unless it's one of those ones where you get on it with your legs like this.
Ski.
I can't get off. I can't.
Girl, I sat in this chair last night for like many hours doing audio and doing shows and whatnot. I got off the chair and I had to text my daughter, can you come down and carry up my chihuahua? Even though she's a chihuahua, but she's a fat chihuahua. And I said, because I can't pick her up. I've got 2 bulging discs on my back and I cannot do crap with it. And so, yeah, for me to use equipment.
No.
I tell you, this one here, oh, you're so bold.
He's adorable. I have to get a kitten. But Bill is allergic. I've mentioned it before that Bill's allergic, and I swear he needs to take some pills or get a shot or something, because if I don't have a cat, I'm going to freak out.
Antihistamines. Tell him to get antihistamines. And
it's so bad. He's allergic to cat saliva, too. Like, not just the dander.
Oh, well, I understand. Yeah, I get that. I know. Here's David again now.
There I am again.
Oh, he's working. Yay! He's alive.
Sorry about that. Well, at least I'm live again. I'm
didn't happen.
all these messages.
It's like an EVP when you froze. It's like, David's here, but we can't see him.
He's here, but he can't talk. Great, just great. I'm catching up with all these messages that people have sent me. My God. Since I've been on the show, somebody sent me an Instagram message I was reading. I was like, that's great. Am I worried? Somebody said, are you concerned with living on the hill when it rains? It's like, no, it's beautiful up here. It's gorgeous.
That's why I was asking, like, surely because you're a newer Bill, that you're down to bedrock, you're fine.
Yeah.
Like, what are you going to do? Build a straw house on a damn mud hill? No, it's easier in bedrock.
Well, yeah, you found the foundation's in bedrock. It's a concrete step foundation I live in. So, but I do have to take the dogs out because those bad boys are like looking at me like I got up and I walked around. Like, when are we going outside? It's like, do you really want to go outside and get wet? Be my guest.
At some point, you gotta
deal with it. They gotta poop sometime, and I know they haven't.
You gotta do it.
Here it is. Are you happy or worried when it rains this much? Happy.
I'm happy.
As can be. I am, because we don't have the problems with having to water the landscape. Honestly, what'll happen is the whole place will blow up, and by summer it'll be all dried out. But it's beautiful to have a really lush spring.
Lovely.
Filled with green and the grasses and the flowers in bloom, and most importantly, we have great wildlife that's up here. So it's really.
Listen, I'm all about the animals. I love my animals. You have coyotes? I mean, are they as, like, I know that, like, wild dogs and so on. Are they as aggressive as people say they are?
They can be, but I mean, up here, they're wild. They're like a wild to us. I mean, we have foxes as well, but I mean, they're like larger foxes, except there's a distinct difference. Foxes are not as.
They're shy.
They're not. It's not that they're shy. Foxes are foxes. Foxes are more like dogs with cat brain.
Yes.
They are not aggressive like a canid. They are non-aggressive in that sense that they won't go after people. They're afraid of people. Coyotes have become much more tolerant of people and less afraid of them, and associate food with humans. Why? Because cats and dogs that they pick off are small prey that they are prey at in their mind. They're not considering them their domesticated animals. They're looking for rabbits and other small prey items.
Well, they say a dog will protect you and a cat will eat you when you pass away.
Yeah.
I don't think protect me against the coyotes, because they were downright walking up to them and trying to make friends with them. And I'm pulling them away as this coyote's making its way 20 feet from us. And I'm like, if they see one coyote, it ain't alone. They are a pack. So you might not see the 20 or 12 of 12.
No, unless it's BDI.
They come down in. One lures out the animal, the others zoom in and pack on top of it and kill it.
It's like Jeremy York was doing and John Griffin was doing the dog whistle experiment, because the frequencies is higher than what we are used to. But when you hear DVP, does that mean like we've all heard DVPs?
Yeah, they're in our range. Yeah, that's the voice that you hear.
Many people have never. Well, that's it. Many people have never heard a DVP.
What is a DVP? A digital
disembodied voice.
Disembodied DVP. All right, fine. I always spell it out. So
disembodied voice phenomenon.
I love it. DVP.
Oh, DVP is a disembodied voice phenomenon where you can hear it with your own ears.
Right, which we have here all the time. Right?
Huh?
We have that all the time here.
Exactly, when you were talking about earlier, and that's what happened in my house one night when we had the recorder running and I hear it at the same time. But Jeremy York was saying when you're using the dog whistle, just don't do it outside because you'll have, unless you want about 30 coyotes around you, don't do it outside.
Probably not. Yeah. Well, they can hear it.
Coyotes in Ireland.
Coyotes are not attracted to acoustic sounds except for animals that are whining in pain. Then they'll go. But I mean, more importantly, when the coyotes kill a rabbit,
Good night,
the shrill and the shriek is just horrendous to hear that echo through the canyons.
I don't know. I mean, we don't have them here. We don't have any coyotes here. Apparently we have snakes in Ireland. No, we don't have snakes in Ireland because St. Patrick got rid of all of them.
Right. You never had him to begin with. He couldn't put away what wasn't there. So it's a nice thing to banish what was never there to begin with.
I always say there's a lot of two-legged snakes that he forgot to take with him.
That's not the same thing. Yes.
I know, but that's just Jennifer's version of St. Patrick. You could have taken the worst with you, but he didn't. But we do have that. We don't have many. We don't have. We have a lot of wildlife here. We have fabulous wildlife, but we don't have coyotes. I think if I saw a coyote, I'd probably go, "Come here, little boy, come here," and kind of try and rub it.
You want to kiss? I'd be like, "Come here, give me a kiss,"
and try and kiss it.
Yeah, they get very, 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 very super sharp teeth and can get very, very, very destructive quickly.
So that's off my bucket list.
They're not like a German Shepherd.
So that's off my bucket list. Do not kiss a coyote. So I need to cross that off my list now. Okay, that's done. I learn coyotes just by howling. Do you? Holy crap.
You can, I'm sure. I'm sure that they would go and investigate. But then once they see you're a human, they'd vacate pretty damn quick. They're not social animals with human beings. The only reason why they interact with us is because we've built our homes in their territory. And also when there are droughts like now, like we've had up until now, coyotes didn't have the wherewithal because when the coyotes are in a drought, they don't basically, how should you say, disseminate their population. Mm-hmm. Just because we're in a drought, what usually happens is you have that type of a dissemination loss of the predatory species because you have a dissemination loss in your prey species. But because the coyotes are so close to civilization, they have now been incurring into the suburban area and have now become very adept at going into garbage cans, into people's backyards, taking people's cats because people think they should have their cats outdoors.
Yeah.
And their dogs. And they don't realize that you're in their territory, regardless of whether you've claimed it as yours. Yeah. That doesn't change nature in the way the nature is established.
100% agree.
They can exist in urban areas. In Austin, Texas, now in the middle of downtown, there's Waller Creek that runs through downtown Austin, and people who lived along Waller Creek had to pull in their small animals at night because there was coyotes that ran that creek for that very reason. Wow. Yeah.
Because the creek is where other animals go to drink, and the coyotes know this. Just like in Africa, they're around the watering holes. Why are the lions going spraying, patrolling the watering holes? Because the same thing with the alligators and crocodiles. Because there's prey that go to drink water, and they know this.
Yeah, I know. When I was in Dublin one night, and I was out with a group of friends, and I was in Dublin one night. That's my cat. And about 3 or 4 in the morning,
I'm thinking I hear sounds, but the dogs are also wincing about.
Oh, my one here is meowing again.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go too. I have to eat something.
By the way, I sent you a message on a private chat. Did you get that?
Yes, I have that here. I'm going to connect you to
Did Robin get that though? I said
yes, Robin will get it too. I think. Robin, did you get it? But I'm going to
is it-
connect the two of you together on Facebook. But a very
Yeah,
quickly,
well-
the night in Dublin, and we had left a nightclub, and there was a fox in the middle of this Dublin city, and I'm like, and I'm trying to call the fox.
Dublin, in the middle of the nightclub was a fox.
No, after the nightclub was a fox, and I'm like, and I'm
But
trying
the
to give him
werewolves
food, I'm
of
trying to give him
London.
food. And that's in like when the city of Dublin, and I'm like, oh gosh, I said this is the shit that these poor animals have to put up with. But what we're going to do is I'm going to connect. Robin, can you see the private?
Oh,
Can you see?
I have-
Yeah, you
I
should
have
see the
private
private,
chat.
Robin.
Next
You
I have
should
it
see
on
the
full
private.
screen though.
You
Yeah,
probably
I
can't,
can.
no?
Of course,
You
yes, I
can.
can. Yep.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Yep.
Okay, you got my information. That's
That's perfect. Get that and connect, people. Connect.
Yeah, let's see if we can get this going because I very much like to get this to Fox Networks because
That would
it
be
makes
really
sense
awesome.
to take it to a broader audience since it's one of those interesting stories, but it's not. Discovery would be great, but why not try for Fox first and see what they say?
Exactly.
For part
Yeah, I
two.
don't know my little friends here, my woman friend that sounded weird. Who she's which channel she's connected with right now, but I know it's in conjunction with Netflix somehow. So I don't know. Either she knows or she knows somebody. You know what I mean? And so you're interested in the Fox network.
Let's put it this way: Netflix is good, but let's be honest. If it's going to go to a place that could make the biggest splash, network television wise, of the four networks,
her main
Fox
deal,
makes-
she works for a big television station. It's not Discovery. I'm just at a loss. I forget when you say it. You're like, oh yeah, that. So, but I'm just
Right.
I can't think of it right now.
Well, Netflix, like I said, the reason why Fox first is because Fox, would be a better fit because they like that kind of sensationalist,
Yes.
and they're looking for something. They don't have anything in that genre, and it just makes sense to try to, as the old saying goes, shoot for the stars and then end up on the ground.
So she
Can't
works
hurt
for
to
the
ask.
network that goes on regular TV, but she's just doing her own special thing for Netflix. So it's both. She's in both worlds. So yeah. So
She's
don't worry about it.
She's freelancing. She is not tied to any certain network.
She's
with
tied
any
to
certain
a certain network, but they're working with Netflix. I don't know this. I don't know the minutia of it or whatever.
Talk
But
to
yeah,
her.
definitely. I'll talk
Send
to
me
her.
an email and I will send you the outline in the email. And I'm not worried about somebody stealing it because they can't steal the house, the story, and my videos. That's what I'm saying. I'd be
right.
fine to do it.
Yeah.
So
Well, you have me right here on video saying I'm not going to steal it, but I will. I'm very interested in looking at it for sure.
well, I appreciate
David,
you're
I
not going
sent
to
you-
steal it.
I'll make you
Yes.
an offer you can't refuse.
No, she can't. David, I sent you a PM
What?
on this. I sent you a PM on this StreamYard.
Private.
Oh.
Private.
Oh, private.
David, I want to talk to you regarding
No. Put it.
About-
I
she was talking about it in the car warranty.
Like really? I sent it to you in private.
What's
and
the
I didn't-
difference? What are you worried about? My God, let's not be Howard Hughes-esque, shall we?
Because
A little paranoia goes too far.
This
And
will
you've
be
gone
used
too far.
over and over.
Who
This is
doesn't
going to
regard that and that and that? Who cares? Someone's going to care.
Ethan. Shh. David.
Stop it. No one's, you're acting like somebody's inside your brain that's alive.
No, I'm
There's
just
no permission to get that incubus over to her house.
There's no one in your brain that's alive. I'm sorry.
No. Okay. Anyway, bleep. Can I edit? Bleep. I'm sure.
Dog- Dog's got to poop. I got to eat. We should just
Yeah, I
go.
got to go.
Right.
All right. So, like I said, thank you very much, Jenny. Pleasure
Thank
meeting
you.
you, Robin. So, like I said, send me an email, Robin. I'll send you the response, and we'll see what we can do on this.
Absolutely. I sure will.
I want to say thank you so much, David, for coming in. Like, because we have spoken before, and like I'm like, get David on and kind of do a talk.
Always a
And
pleasure.
it is, and it was so brilliant. Thank you so much.
Got to
Come
go.
on.
Call coming in. I'll talk to you guys later.
Okay, go. We'll talk later.
Night.
David.
Bye.
Thank you so much.
Night.
We'll talk to you later. Bye. Right, it's
What
just
a
a
guy.
dude. He's so
What a
funny. I
guy.
tell you. He's a dude. I tell you now.
I just have to say really quick though, like it's Capricorn season, right? It's Capricorn season. That's work, right? I have been inundated with work. I'm not even surprised that he was like, "Hey, you want to do something?" Like I
tell you, like I said earlier, I am literally to everyone that I've had on my show, like host, co-host, guest, I am the linker.
Yes,
So
you
when you all get famous, would you all please remember me? Would you please give me a mention? Give me a mention.
I can see, and we will manifest this, that this is when you're truly meant to be in New York. You stop here.
Wow.
We'll have a day or two of rest, and then we will plan it to where we pack up and we'll get our ass to
We're
California.
shopping in Tiffany's. We're going shopping in Tiffany's. We're going to.
I'll walk in and they'll be like, "Bitch, ain't nothing in here gonna fit you."
I'm like, oh geez.
Oh, you mean Tiffany lamps and stuff? Yeah, Tiffany lamp. Duh.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah,
lamp
well,
always.
I'll think of the clothes and jewelry. And
Yeah.
like,
I'll be like, yeah,
jewelry. I was thinking of like, the jewelry. Are your famous Jenna? Are you Eric? Thank you. Oh, you see this now? We're going to screenshot.
You are. People like you're worldwide. Yeah.
Well, I have friends worldwide. I'm not known worldwide, but I have friends worldwide. I do. I have fabulous friends. But thank you, Eric. Thank you. I'm going to screenshot this. Hold on. No, I'm joking. I didn't. But I do love it.
And I'm super happy that you invited me on. I'm very, very happy.
I'm glad you did. And I was looking for your show tonight, my love. I was looking for your show.
Well, I was supposed to be on a show, and I'll say it was called Beyond the Woodline. And he mostly focuses on cryptids, but some paranormal and that sort of thing. And there was just tech. You know how sometimes you just cannot help the tech problems.
Yes, tech.
So yeah. He was texting me. I wasn't trying to be rude, but he was texting me. So I think maybe tomorrow in USA, maybe noon. I don't know what I'm doing, but I told him if I'm available, I will to go on there because it seems pretty interesting. But anyway, so it didn't work out.
Well, I'm glad you came on. I'm so glad you came on because I'm like, oh, there's Greg. Greg, we are just finishing up. We're normally doing a 2-hour show. We're now 3.5 hours. We had fabulous David Oman on with us tonight from the house at the Cielo Drive.
Cielo Drive, yep.
Yeah, and he was on with us tonight. He was great crack. He was great. And wow, let me tell you, you only get to see these things sometimes. I am literally going online now to buy his book, but I want it autographed as well.
Yeah, I'm going to buy it as well. Yeah, I've got to have one now. So, yeah.
That's so cool. And it's great that you speak to them beforehand, and you're friends with them, not just like new guests. Like I have many people, anybody that I have on my show is all friends beforehand, but it's great to have David and every guest that I've had on as friends beforehand as well. And most of them are not. And that's great because we make friends after that. But I'm on with Greg on the 3rd of February. So I'm looking forward to that because I love Greg. And I love the way he does his ITCs. Yeah, he does his ITC. So I'm all about the ITC. Yeah. I love it.
He slid into the chat. Hello, ladies. I like that. Hello, Greg.
That's our Greg. That's our Greg. He was on the Christmas show with me as well in December gone. But I want to say thank you so much for jumping in, for joining in, because I knew you would love David. And I thought I told you about David before you came on.
Maybe you did, but I was pretty, yeah.
And I did, and then if you didn't, I think I did, but if I didn't, it was like, let's just throw you in.
Or maybe I just saw the link and I didn't read everything else and I was just hurrying in. It was, who knows?
You come in and you see David.
Yeah.
You go, crack your knuckles. Let's get into this.
I've seen that California man before.
Yeah, let's get into this. What a guy to have on your show. Like, what a guy. Yeah. To have as a friend and on your show at the same time. It's just, it's a privilege.
Yeah.
Greg, I'm looking forward to it. I cannot wait. I'm going to share it out when you have the post on. I'm going to share it out, and I'm really looking forward to it. Just 1-to-1, because I know I had Greg on the show with him before, and there was a group of us talking, but I'd like to talk to Greg 1-to-1 with what he does and what I do as well. And I'm being interviewed, but I'm going to interview Greg at the same time. Sorry, Greg, but I have to kind of throw you a few questions as well now, because we love ITC. So on that note, after, 3.5 hours, an hour and a half. But listen, who's counting time? Who's counting time? It was fun. It was bloody fun. It was great. David, I know you're here and I know you're going to be watching at some point, but thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate you giving us your time and for coming on, but we will definitely catch up. I will link you two together. Robin, as always, you're a bloody blast. You have a great questions. Your mind is amazing. And did you see my pictures on Messenger?
Yes, I did.
Did you see them? No, that's why
we talk about it. We even talk about it.
Exactly. When I sent David the PM, the private message, and he's like reading it out, and I'm like,
I know, like
This one we can't do. And that's what I wanted to ask him a question over that. But I'm going to ask you afterwards. I know you have to go off a bill, but whatnot. But I'm going to PM you my question. But anyhow, me waffling on as a typical Irish person, like when you're leaving a house party and it takes you like 2 hours to leave because you're saying goodbye for 2 hours. And
so you just arrive and start saying goodbye. Yeah.
Yes.
Like,
Someone gives you another drink. Someone starts another conversation. You're like, well, I know someone who did this.
Yeah.
And so, yes, we are going to leave her now. Thank you so much. Anyone who watched, commented. I can hear my dog in the background. And Eric, my new friend. So request me, Eric. I keep hitting my microphone. But yes, so we are going to go. I'm trying to get the right things right to do because I'm like a one-woman show here. So I'm going to stay there for 2 seconds, Rob. I'm going to take us into the background, and then I'm going to do the outro. And then, guys, we are out on investigation next Saturday night. We are in the Drogheda Museum Mill Night. So we will be doing a little bit of a live at that, not as long as we did before, but I'd say about half an hour live. But that the rest of the night is going to be team only. But we will be there. And that's my cat meow. There's nobody talking in my hands. All right. Talk to you in like 2 minutes. Everyone, good night. Have a safe weekend. Have a great weekend. And we will definitely see you soon.